Hello and welcome to the fan cams. After the Blues get embarrassed by the North Melbourne Football Club. 10 goals, 1373 to 13 goals, 684. Wow, that scoreline does not do North Melbourne justice. That is not a reflection of that game. It's like, what do you do? How can you get behind anything when you see things like that? That was awful. Like, they've outdone themselves again for how bad that was. And like, the scoreline will say 11 points, and that is fascinating because that felt like a death of a club. Maybe I'm being a little bit over over emotional, but that really had like a death stink to it from my view. I don't know. We'll get your thoughts throughout the show. So, I think this might be a nice long session. And yeah, if you want to come and join the fan cams, you're obviously welcome to. Get the fan sentiment. I'll put the link in the comment in the live chat, and we'll just go until we don't want to talk anymore. But yeah, that's just a real tough one. Franco.
Fuck, I've got the opening ball, have I?
What's that?
I've got the opening ball, have I?
Mate, opening ball, opening bounce, mate.
You went a little easy on him, Terry. How much swearing can I do on here?
As much as you want, mate.
Fucking pathetic. It was fucking pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. I said this to you last week, Terry, that if anyone's happy with that performance against West Coast, should be ashamed of themselves. It was that was Carlton 2018, 2019, 2020. We came out of the blocks okay. That second and third quarter, we were fucking witches' hats. And for that pathetic masquerading clown of a coach to tear shreds through bins at three-quarter time, when
can you tell me about that? I didn't see that. What happened there?
He tore shreds through bins because he didn't follow you didn't follow the plan or didn't follow the rules. For him to tear shreds through an 8-gamer when you had a guy wanting 1.7 mil, a captain who doesn't want to fucking be there, Chera who did sweet fuck all, Charlie Curnow who doesn't want body contact and doesn't do a second effort to go at an 8-gamer. That's the issue with this fucking club. That's the issue with the coach. I'll say it again. We give more fucks about off-field than on-field. I'm sorry, Terry. And I'm sorry if people don't want to hear it. They don't give two shits about on-field. They don't care about their members. We got 100,000 members. To dish that shit up, fuck me. Fuck me. What was that? And what was even worse is they came out in that last quarter to make it look respectable. I'm even more fucking pissed with that.
Same.
I'm fucking furious.
Yeah.
At that shit. I'm fucking furious.
I mean, I'm not. I've accepted that we're not a top team this week, so I thought, you know what, maybe that'll help not get as mad about the result because I know that they're no good this year in particular. And then I found myself in that last 5-10 minutes getting even more angry as what I was in the second quarter when they kick 1 goal behind to six goals. And it's almost like tear us to shreds, demoralize us, and then go one more by trying to save face. It's got me all fucked up, Franco.
And then Terry, you've got peanuts like McGovern. We are 5 goals down and 3 minutes to go. He gives a fist pump. What the fuck is that? Come on, man. Read the fucking room. understand what is happening in the outer. Like, that was the worst display I've seen. We've seen a lot of bad displays in the last 10 years. That is the worst display I have seen from a team ever. This team, we played against a team that had won 3 games all year. All year. And we made them look like fucking peak Brisbane in that middle 2 quarters. It was absolutely pathetic. I'm serious, Terry.
Yeah.
That was the icing on the cake for me was that 3/4 time spray by Voss. The fact that we're running through the middle and your most senior players cannot hit a target going forward in Doherty, Sard. What the fuck is wrong with them? What is wrong with them?
Yeah, there's big issues, mate. Something that was soulless today. There's something. I mean, I don't know. We're all going to speculate, but there's just something broken about them. Not just them; it's the whole thing, isn't it? It's just all misaligned all over the joint.
It's crazy to think that our best forward today is a backman. It's crazy to think that our best forward is a backman. And you know what was even more crazy? They brought on Motlop, and when we needed run, they took off another midfielder.
Yeah.
Like, am I missing something? Am I missing something?
Yeah,
like, what are they doing? It's just rinse and repeat, mate. We had played anyone else today, like a Collingwood or a Brisbane, we would have lost by 100 points today.
We might see that in a couple of weeks' time, if not
Terry,
next this Thursday.
I don't know what your thoughts are, mate. But if it was up to me, Voss wouldn't be seen at Optus Oval or Icon Park on Monday. That's it. He's done.
I've really been one to say don't do it before the season ends. And also, I've also been in the camp of just build a better team around him. But like performances like that, like that's unforgivable. It almost felt like a protest from the players, not wanting or not believing in what they're doing, and like that's just not. It's just not unfortunate that the ball didn't bounce our way today. That's not what happened. That there was a lack of true desire to dominate. And
Terry, and you know what else pissed me off is that we got bullied by him. They bullied us.
They did.
They absolutely bullied us. Did you see the tackle they did on Hewitt in the 2nd or 3rd quarter?
Yeah.
They crunched him. Did anyone go up to the opposition?
Of course not.
Did anyone go up to the opposition?
Mm.
We're a mentally weak, physically weak football club.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
That's what we are. I'm sorry for being so heated, Terry, but I'm
mate,
fucking mad with this club. It's just, I just don't know where to go with it. I don't know where to go. I refuse to go to the games.
Yeah, fair.
I've got my money anyway, and I'll always be a member, but I refuse to support this club until they make proper changes. You can't keep going with the same list week in, week out and expect the same result. It is the same result week in, week out. It's not on. So,
mate, no, appreciate it. You've
thanks,
you
Terry.
make some incredible thoughts, and mate, we'll just speak soon until we talk about their next belting.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
See you, mate. Hey, Darren, thanks for the $3, mate. Players need to own that one. No heart. Another $3. Any idea what's up with Cripps this year? Yeah, he doesn't have his spark about him at the moment. Hello, Oliver. Thanks for the $10. Through and through. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Bussy Boy, $3. Piastri's leading in the Formula One. There's that. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. Let's go to the other. Let's go to Joel. Ugh, Joel, send me into a cycle. Send me into the abyss, my friend.
Well, seems like I know what I'm talking about. Well, I know that I don't just think I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, and
When
it's
you
clearly
know, Joel.
well, yeah, you've been too hard, too soft on them, Terry. So Voss needs to go. Voss needs to go. But look, if this club had any decency, then they'd come out and apologise. But I think that would be too easy, or too hard, I should say, rather than not too easy. And they should just refund everyone's membership, because it's. I mean, how much more can you take? It's just it's a circus. It's. I mean, I've just tried to calm myself down. I mean, I always think, oh, look, I'll come on the fan cams and give a mighty spray, but it just doesn't serve anyone any purpose, because not like the club's listening or anything. So
That's true.
well, yeah, but yeah, it is just mind blowing how no one takes any accountability down there. Like,
what do you? Yeah.
The definition of insanity is the last bloke. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's just, it's just how much can the koala bear, my friend?
How do you think? Like, what do you? I mean, it's fucked and it's cooked and it's all sorts of things, right? It's all sorts of bad. So like, what does a supporter do for the next 9 weeks? Like, what happens? That's the thing that's kind of getting me a bit twisted, because I mean, this week I thought, yeah, let's rally a bit. Yeah, let's fucking rally. Let's try. And like, you try, and then that happens, and you're like, the misalignment, and
yeah. Well, it comes down to everyone's individual threshold. I mean, it's just like pleasure and pain, Terry. I mean, how much, as I said, how much can the koala? How much? I mean, I've gotten to the point now. I think everyone has to reach their own point in their own journey where they just can't take it anymore. And I mean, there's other things. I mean, yeah, the family, put best time in the family, religion. Go out and go for a walk and breathe in some fresh air, anything. I mean, that's what I've been doing lately. It's just because my journey was I came on right on the end back of the 95. And then we've had 20 years of shit, like 20, it's enough, I've said all, I mean, I've come on here numerous times and sort of said everything that I'm probably going to say now, but look, the more recent picture, I guess, is the fact that, Doc needs to go. What's wrong with Cripps? I would drop Cripps, drop Doc, get rid of TDK, and get as much as we can in terms of draft commodity as possible, because we can't relying on one person. It's clearly that our flaws are far greater than. It's ridiculous how dire our flaws are and everything. So, and Curnow is just I've been saying this for years and years, at least a year, that we have fool's gold in our forwards. So I dropped Curnow and I just start playing the kids now. Do you think is the season over, Terry?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Well, I've been saying that since round 3, I think. So, I mean, yeah. Look, people will come on here and give their thoughts around individual players, but mate, I rang up the radio 3AW afterwards because I just had a bit to say and gave a bit of lip. The guy, the panel operator said, "Give him a spray," and I said, "Well, give him more than a spray." And the poor bloke who was the caller before me said he'd just been, whether you can believe him or not, but I mean, if it was true, he said he'd been vomiting all the way home. So it's people. Yeah. He sounded really crook. Like he was, and you see people crying on the television. Like, I don't know if you saw it on the big screens, but they would put.
So that fucking, when I got home, I got sent the clip of the little boy crying on TV. That honestly, like, that's And I saw it. I saw a lot of it while I was at the game today. I saw kids sad. I saw mass exodus like in the third quarter. But like that footage of that boy crying, like literally, that the club better fucking bring that kid into the club this week and do something. Like just that absolutely broke me. It really did. You've got this. It's like, I mean, I was in the President's Club function today and I'm just looking around. I'm like, what are you people doing? Like, what are you people all doing? And like, you got the people like in the trenches who are just wearing it, feeling it. And it's like, mate, what's going on here?
Well, that's it. I mean, look, we've just got people who are clueless in prime positions at this club, like, and meek, and and it just needs to change soon. But then I don't know what the future holds. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, clearly we're going to have to do a rebuild.
Well, that's the thing, right? So just on that point, like take your point, right? I don't play career. Like, let's just say that we go down that reality. It's going to be we're going to win even less games than what we do this year by doing that. So, like, are we all going to get behind that? Like, really? It's almost like a. It's just.
Well, I'm just sick of seeing. I'm just sick. As I said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So, if I was in charge, I'd start making some changes and just make changes for change's sake. At least change something. Let's see if Moy can grab his opportunity. If Lemmy can kick a couple of goals. Let's see if Billy Wilson has got some speed through the back line. Let's see if Harry AFL can show something. And I'm sure I'm missing out on a couple, but there's at least six or so kids in the twos who I've got some patience to see what they can do. I'm running out of patience, and that's the thing. I'm running out of patience with a lot of our senior players. I look at them and I just want to look. If they walk past my house right now, I'd spit on them, or I actually, I'd probably punch them in the head, to be honest. Because there's only so much you can take. Things need to change. You just look on all the forums, and people have had enough, and I just. If anyone's listening, hopefully it's our man Graham Wright, because he didn't give Voss the job at Collingwood, didn't he? So that doesn't look good. That doesn't really paint a good picture for Voss. So
unforgivable today, mate. Unforgivable all year, really.
All right, I've got some papers to mark, so I'll get back to that, and I'll let you endure the wrath of the supporter base.
All right, mate. You take care.
Have a good one.
You
Cheers.
too.
Thanks.
That might have been Joel's best fan cam, to be honest. That was brilliant. Petracan, $5.87. $5 for a coffee and a bonus 87 cents for having Joel on fan cams. Thank you, Petra. Nitro Goat, heard enough. Joel to replace Voss. He'd have a rocket up there. I can't believe Voss went at bins. I need to see that footage. Jim.
Hey, mate. What's going on?
Man, I lowered my expectations. I said it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be gritty all day, and North of this and North are coming back, but we'll win the game. Like, I just keep lowering the bar and still getting let down.
Yeah, I did the same thing internally. I'm like, look, we just got to scrape a win today. I felt like North might be up and about. I did miss the first half because I was playing footy, but I did get to see the second half. That third quarter, fuck, that's bad, man. That's probably as bad as we've probably ever been with this group from what I saw. Just a lack of composure, lack of wanting to win the footy first. Super disappointing. So you can sum this game up with really just a sentence of just grow the fuck up, like grow up as a group. Yeah. And we can rip coaches all we like, but at the end of the day, the boys that were out there today could have and should have got that job done. That is versus North Melbourne. We must still keep minimum expectation as a fan base, and that is just a W. Straight up, had to be a win. To go 7-7. I don't think we're asking too much as a fan base. I think we're pretty measured the last couple of weeks. Yes, all right, people upset that we've been winning against poor sides and just getting it done. However, the minimum expectation is you just win today versus North Melbourne at the MCG. Simple. We go 7-7 and we set up the back end of the year. Massive fail. Season over. Realistically, yeah, we're not a good side, but we're not a bottom side. So what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
where has the growth come from? Where is the improvement? There's none. We've gone just strides backwards this year. It's very poor. I don't know what it was like to be there, but fuck, man, I feel bad for any
mate.
fan that went, man. That's bad one.
You think the third quarter was bad? Like, if you like pain and you want to like test your resilience, watch the second quarter. Man, it was one behind to 6 goals won. Like, I can't tell you, man. That, and I mean, I think I've said it, and a lot of people have said it. You know, oh, this is the worst loss in however long that I've seen. That second quarter was the worst 25 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it was, that I have seen this group put together all year. And I know that we've had the Richmond loss, and I know that we've had all the losses that we've had. Like, seriously, man, that second quarter, like, completely unforgivable what they did there, man. Like, completely.
Oh, fuck. Well, I am going to watch it because I do watch back every game, losses and all.
Do you know what it was?
Do
you remember when we beat Gold Coast in 2023 after Essendon, and we had a bit of a slow first quarter, and then the second quarter we sort of blew, you know, we sort of turned it around. It was that, but in reverse. Like, North just found it. And we just,
that's disappointing.
So bad, man.
That's fucked. The last quarter, I think, has pissed me off more. The fact that we kept them to no score and just tried to wheel ourselves back. We're just so untidy still forward of the ball. North almost just put the cue in the rack. And you know what? I would say if that was a Brisbane in that position where somehow by some fucked up miracle they found themselves 46 points down, they would have actually won that game still at the death there, because we just still lacked composure, which is disappointing. Like, so I think Voss has lost the group, and again, like, he can't kick the footy for him, but you are the main man, you're the motivator, and you're the man there. So sort it the fuck out. Like, do we not deserve more as fans? Forget about the 30-year thing. Just worry about the rebuild. Like, this current crop, right? This is his 4th season. We're talking about connection. Oh, the little things. We're in our 4th fucking season under you, bro. Sort it out. Yeah. That's minimum expectation. And on that point, the Prenders, I think it was Sean from the Prenders, said something last year, and it stuck with me, and he nailed it. What he said was, doesn't matter that, we've sacked coaches, right? I might get it wrong with the way I say it, but it's virtually this. Doesn't matter that we've hired the wrong coach and we've sacked coaches. We keep getting the appointment wrong. We just have. We've got it wrong again with Voss. I do believe that. I've seen enough. I'm still happy for him to coach a season out so we have some stability, as they say. But the bloke's got to go. And you can't back that shit in. That is a shit game plan. And we're finding ourselves down far too often versus shit sides. Fade outs. If you're telling me the second quarter was worse than the third, well, I'm going to believe you. You know you're footy. And that's some fucking shit I don't even want to watch later, but I will. So, guys got to go. Simple.
That's the first time I've felt Voss has fully lost the group. Yeah, I mean, you'll see it that second quarter. That's just it's like negligence and unprofessionalism and lack of care all put into one, and just, I don't know how they wrap it up. Like, you know, we hit the 100,000 members this week, and like, you know, it's an achievement. And like, imagine hitting 100,000 members for the second year in a row, and it being such a dour time of the club. Like, and just on what you said about getting the appointments wrong, like, I think that just points consistently to the decision makers. Like, there's clearly no faith and trust that the decision makers who make these appointments can get it right, because they just continue to get it wrong.
They get it wrong a lot.
That just opens up another can of worms in itself.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't believe it's the list to a point where people say blow the joint up. All right, you trade something out, you get something in, you repurpose some players. It's fine, but it's not this. Like, let's go shoot Bambi, fuck Cripper off, all these players. No. It's a little reset. If it's 12 months to learn something properly to take us forward, you do it, and you just take that pill. You just have to take it now. enough's enough. Voss has got to go. That's shit house. Unacceptable. Do not celebrate anything about that. Unacceptable footy. Anyway, mate, good luck.
See you, brother.
Peace.
Caspar McLeod, $5. Carlton conceded 8 goals in a row against a team that hasn't finished higher than 17th since before the COVID pandemic. Did they kick 8 in a row, North? Damn. LS, $10. Thank you. Forget about the talent for a minute. The club needs a full rebuild just on a mentality alone. I think many of our senior players are too far gone. List will look very different next season. Bookmark it. Yeah, absolutely. Justin Street, $8. I'm telling you, North rebuild is about to pop. You can see it with their kids. Our rebuild is failing. Yeah, that's a kind of win for North that just absolutely gets them going. Good on. Shout out to North Melbourne today. They were fucking brilliant. All right, let's go to the UK. Riley.
That almost left me speechless. Like, honestly, it's a chicken and egg argument. It's you can't have a system without the effort, but the system is so bad, do the players really give a true effort? And was on full display today. I mean, I don't know if it's been mentioned yet, but that is a 93-point turnaround from 2 months ago. 93 points turnaround from 2 months ago. And that's because that flatters us because that should have been 8 goals. 8-9 goals.
I'm mad that I'm actually, as I read out the score at the start of the show, I'm mad that it was 11 points because that did not feel like an 11-point loss. Oh man.
No, it did. It didn't at all. And I think to me, it looked like a combination of they gave up on the coach and the powers that be above them.
Yeah.
And I also think it's a perception of they probably just turned up thinking they were going to win. I mean, the efforts in that second and third quarter, I mean, Wiedering on 1 foot on the line, stopping a goal. And Sard's just standing there. He's just standing there, not helping his teammate go through. You're bullied by a bunch of 20-year-olds.
Yeah. Bullied.
As soon as completely bullied by a bunch of 20 and 21-year-olds who are on a very good trajectory, and I think it's starting to pop. And good on the people who've stuck fat with North because that's been a hard journey in itself. But today reminded me, if I could sum it up the best way, it reminded me of that game in 2021, which really probably ended David Teague's career at Carlton, if it wasn't over beforehand against the Kangas. And I think this will be seen as the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
And it's as I've said to you countless times, the issues are deeper than just the head coach. It's the people around him. You have a footy boss who has been there for almost a decade now that's been unsuccessful. The list management build now needs to probably be seriously questioned because this is Austin's list now, really. We're in year 6 of it. And yes, it got us to a prelim in this miracle run, but outside of that, what's it consistently produced? And have we addressed the fundamental weaknesses that were there 6 years ago where we lacked run and we had poor skill level? No.
Yeah.
So where are we? Like, honestly, where are we at as a club as an on-field product?
Yeah, the decision-making that happens on the field just reeks of a group that are, I don't want to say they're incapable, because they are capable. So that's what leads me to think they just don't fully believe and fully embrace what they're doing. I just can't.
And I tend to agree with that. Do you think that last year's elimination final broke this group? Because I've been pondering that for the last few weeks.
I personally don't. I think there's something going on the inside that might come out in the postseason. Because this group found it for a lot of last season, and there was, champagne football was almost coming out. Like they had something, and then, like whether there was a fracture internally or something, I don't know. I mean, when you talk about
the dynamics change fundamentally,
like there's just no collective identity.
No.
Like, there's a lot of individual storylines and there's a lot of selfish mechanisms happening, and it's just so it might not be as complex as what we make it, but I also do think it is a little bit more complex as well. Like, it's the complexity is in how simple it could be, and I just don't see all the ships rowing in the same direction, and like there's no like spirit, man. Like, there's no soul. Like, there's financial success.
There's no mental fortitude.
Yeah,
It's
man.
weak.
It's
a weakness,
yeah.
and it's not a young group anymore, which we've been saying for years. But it's not a young group. Yes, there's a few kids playing out there today, but it's as a collective, as a list, it's not a young group.
Yeah.
This was meant to be the time that was really meant to sort of pop. It hasn't, and it's a tough one to put your head around. But hey, at least they put out blockbuster memberships this week. It's
Do you know what's
the old
funny?
blockbuster
So
membership.
we had what do we have? We had $42 tickets, followed by bring a mate, so free tickets, followed by $15 general admission. I don't know, man. I don't know, Riley. I just
It's a collective issue right now. It's the complexity is in how simple it could be, but it's the whole product on field stinks. I mean, when you're watching a game and you're in the last minutes of the third quarter and you're 46 points down and you're chipping 15 meters sideways for a minute, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
even Jack today, Silvani, there was something off about him, and he for me is a real spiritual leader in a sense. There was just something energetically almost just off about him. He made errors I haven't seen him make like that, and what are we supposed to do for like the next 9 weeks? Like, what are we supposed to do? But we know it's fucked, you know.
We know it's fucked, and indirectly, the good thing is that it's probably been hidden, despite us winning the last two before today, how poorly we've been playing over the last month because we've been relatively off Broadway. I mean, yes, Carlton always gets exposure, but they've sort of been twilight games or early Saturday afternoon games like today. The next 3 weeks are all Thursday night, Friday night, Friday night. So we get to see it exposed, warts and all.
Back in the prime time. They put us back in the prime time. Back in the prime time.
In the prime time.
They put us back in the prime time.
So from that perspective, it'll become abundantly clear. I don't see them making a move on Voss this season unless it gets drastically bad over the next couple of weeks. But I think he's probably his papers are stamped or very close to.
Yeah, that was
it's
unforgivable.
4 year. Yeah, it's unforgivable. Classic coach killer. And he has had the group. It's year 4 of the group, so it's not like you can't say, "Oh, sack the coach too quickly now."
Well, it's like lose to Collingwood, lose to Brisbane, lose to Hawthorn, maybe lose to Port next week off a 5-day break, and roll out the excuses. But like, today was not the day to lose. It was not it.
No, and not in that fashion. Not in that fashion.
Yeah,
you can not accept that you lose, but you can, if the effort and desire and the system is there and you get outplayed, fair play. But to lose in the manner we did is completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
And I would probably say that's the worst loss we've had this year. You could argue. And we had Richmond round 1. We had GWS, we're missing half their side. We had the Adelaide game, and it's just every loss this year has just been bad.
Yeah.
Not that there's ever a good loss, but they have been real soul-sucking, exposing performances.
Mate, what time is it there for you?
It is 8:21 a.m. So I got to wake up at 4 a.m. for that shit.
Wow. Well, yeah. Thanks for calling in, man, from the other side of the world.
No worries, man. Keep your head up.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Daniel Mooner, $5. The season was over round 1. This list should have ready this year. Honest conversations are bullshit. Voss has lost them. Thank you, mate. Wow, Ur Koken. It's been a while. Thank you very much for the $80. The players don't care. They are happy with getting their weekly pay packet, buying more investments. Yeah. You rest assured we will absolutely be listening to the press conference, but I've got a full waiting room of people, so I'm going to get through them as much as possible. Don't worry. This session will go for a long time. Every single word will be spoken. So don't worry about that, guys. Real damage incoming. Simon. Hello, Bello.
Hey, Bello. How are you?
Oh,
can you hear me all right?
Mate. Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Well, just dropped off at McDonald's, got the coffee, and I was with the family today. We penciled this one in for about 3 months ago, so I was like, okay, this is the one we'll go to. It's like, take the kids, take the family, and my eldest daughter. And I think the highlight was we were singing Bella Ciao at three-quarter time. We're just chanting songs because that was poo watching that today. No spark, nothing in the crowd because there was nothing to cheer about. And, normally, we say about Vossi, well, coaches, give him to the end of the year. I hate to say it. It's going to mean nothing. He's gone, mate. It's just I rip the Band-Aid off now and start making the hard calls. The player you just brought up, previous caller, JSOS was way off today. And he's not the only one, but you're right. When you start seeing a player that's been in all-Australian form have a shocker, and it wasn't just the footy side, it was just attitude. It was just the attitude. It looks really... Weeders hasn't been right since his knee. We looked tired. We look tired. We look like we've had our time, and I don't know if the resilience is there anyway. Even Cripper, he was hunted today at times, and I'm like, and we've always gone, he'll come out of it. He'll right. No one was there. No one was there. It's funny, as bad as we were playing, that moment when Chera decides to play on at half forward. If you're going to play on, buddy, then get the ball moving. Where did you think you were? Because I actually felt like, yeah.
So that was when we had kicked 2 in a row. McGovern,
yes,
his goal, and then of all players, man, it's like, Ches, how are you getting caught holding the ball in that moment, mate?
Yeah,
it's just like, oh man,
it was big.
And they go
it was
the
big.
other end, and I think it was McCurdy.
Yeah, it just breaks your heart. But it's these are our senior players, and last call says it perfectly. It's not just one issue now. Oh yeah, a couple of players we need to make us better. Sadly, that's that rebuild word's getting used. But I do believe though we don't have to strip it back like we did. I don't think we have to do anything like that. But sadly, it's pain for another couple of years at least. So, and I'll tell you what, and it's what you and Pommy say on the ratings all the time. When I saw Jesse Motlop come on and then he's at the stoppages again, I'm just like, for God's sake. It's how often do you... Maybe Vossi just doesn't want the job. he's just pretty much setting us up. He wants out. He wants out. But, yeah, it's tough for all us Blues. But, now, how did you think... So I heard the comments about Pitto, and mind you, he's not the reason why we lost. But do you think we gained anything today with that, to bring him in? Do you feel like that had an impact in any way?
I mean, I understood the selection personally.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to we're in a block of 3 games in 11 days. And so I understood managing bodies as best you can and not letting Tom get banged up too much. Like, I understood it. And I don't think Pitto was that bad today, personally. Like,
No,
I know
no.
he's limited and I know he's not a great ruck, but I mean, honestly, if I had to list 10 individuals, he would not be in the 10 that I would list, to critique first.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the worry I have is we just don't have a system. We don't, and we haven't had transition footy for so long now. We're talking years. And once we're challenged, I feel like, and Pitto and TDK I was hoping that with that selection that we would hopefully win that battle in the middle. But once they got that roll on in the middle, you could see 8 goals. It's how often is that going to happen too? Like, I mean, how many games have we watched where the opposition bangs on that many? It's just the same thing. It's happened for 3 years now. So I don't know. I mean, I don't like sacking coaches, but oh god, if I have to go watch that, I mean, it's just But at the end of the day, I'd love to see what the next 3 weeks brings in your prime time. Yeah, you're right. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch my weekend ruined, just like that. But maybe getting on the spotlight might just start getting a better reaction from the club and giving us an indication what's coming next. So, Tez, enjoy. Hang in there, all my blue fellow mates. We're doing tough together. Don't worry. Take it easy. See ya. Ciao.
Bye. Matty Nisbet, $8. Absolutely shocking. Let's hope Graham Wright is the right guy to shake up this club. Very optimistic about next year. Go Blues. Yeah. Go Blues indeed. Johnny fucking Holden.
Terry, how are you, buddy? Oh, it's been today was the first. Today was the first day I ever left early. I left at 3/4 time.
Really? It's got you as well.
Yeah. I watched us in the second and third quarter out there play with no intent, absolutely no interest. They did not want to be there. It reminds me of the pagan era, going back that far, where we had just won the second of the night grand finals and he got an extension. I remember reading in Cooter's book how most of the players were all upset about it, and they had they went on a cruise and had a big discussion with some of the big power brokers, and their thing was the only way you're going to get rid of a coach was you lose, the pressure will come, they'll sack the coach. That's what that looked like today. They look like and I've been a big Voss fan. You know me, I've always been a big Vossy fan, but they today look like they did not want to be out there. They didn't play for themselves. They didn't play for the coach. They certainly didn't play for us. The amount of times players just looked like they were deer in the headlights, like you said before about Silvani. I counted like 4 times he went for the ball and went to kick it, and it missed his foot because he either took too long or he got tackled because he was just dawdling. It was like he was just out on a Sunday stroll. The Chera one where he was running through the middle, just oblivious to what was around him. It's like you do realize that there's another team out here who was attacking you, and he was just oblivious. And he wasn't the only one. There was so many of them today that were going through the motions. It was like there was no urgency, and that comes to they're not playing for anybody. They're not playing for themselves, and this is the scary thing. It's like normally you go in a preservation mode where you play for yourself. You know, the team's going downhill. I'm going to make sure I've got a career next year. Like you look at the senior group of players. They just were so disinterested. Once Wiedering went down with his ankle, it was almost like they gave up. And that was very, very early. And he battled, came back on and did what he could. I don't know if I could pick a winner today. Like I was talking with Josh on the way home and I was like, pick a winner. Who do you think was best on ground? Like, I don't know. I couldn't pick a winner. I know Doherty had 115 points on the Supercoach thing, but you sort of go, really? He did what? What did he do? There was just nothing. I didn't see the last quarter, so I've got to be mindful of that because we left at 3/4 time. It was like, I'm out. I'm not sitting here with this. This is just garbage. But I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. Do we persist with playing the kids? I mean, you got to be careful we don't overload too many kids because
Well, that's the point. I think I'm glad you said it because I think that is the trap that we can fall under. Because I mean, you don't want to taint the kids with this shit.
no, because
You don't want
that
to.
went to 2015
Yeah.
where we cut too deep and played the kids and then scarred the kids. So you got to
Yeah.
be careful. And I brought this up on Monday Blues the other night. Not we, but chat constantly goes on about playing kids. We've had 5 debutants this year, and
Yeah.
since round 1 up until not including this game, but previous, 9 players had a combined total of 40 games between 9 players since round 1. So
Yeah.
we've blooded a few kids. It's just generally most of the chat wants their person to be the kid that gets brought up. You know, I want Lemmy and you want Ben Camporelli. He wants Lucas Campera. But it's like, well, hang on a minute. Like, we've got to be careful who we bring in and when we bring them in. But it's more than coach. That's a lot of that. Coach doesn't. And I don't know if you saw the 3/4 time address where Vossi just ripped into somebody. I don't know who it was.
It was apparently it was Jackson Binns.
Yeah, but Jackson Binns is a kid. Like,
And also, if it was Jackson Binns, I was obviously there. I saw Jackson Binns get burned multiple times in the first half. Burned by his teammates. Yeah.
Absolutely. I saw Cripper burn that many players today, and other seniors where you had guys who were in the clear, Chera coming out of the back line, and you got Fantasia who was by himself. He kicks it to a 2-on-1. It's like, this is not coach direction.
I saw Cripps almost try and hurt George Hewitt with that hospital handball.
Yeah, just crazy.
Did you see that?
And yeah, and this is the stuff I'm talking about. I mean, coach is one thing, and playing a system and everything. I get that, and I understand if the game plan is garbage, then it's going to suffer. But then it also comes back to players performing. If you can only coach what you've got, and if you've got garbage, you can't make a gourmet meal if you've only got garbage and scraps. And that's almost what we've got. Voss has got this game plan. I don't think he's got the players that can play the game plan. Now, during the season, like, we know it's too hard to change a game plan. That's all done off season because, and this is what people don't understand. Even though they're at the club 5 days a week, they'll have a rest day tomorrow. They go back into the club on Monday, which will be recovery. Tuesday will be review and checking out what this garbage they just dished up today. They'll go back and review all that. Wednesday will be a light training run and everything, or the main training run. Thursday will be a light training run. Then Friday we've got a game. So
no, Thursday.
Well, Thursday. So it's even less. But in a normal week, in a normal 7-day break, you've got the 5 days, right? So you've got recovery, then you've got review, then you've got your training, then you've got preview for the next coming, then a light training, and then you've got game day or day after game day. You don't have time during the week to practice a new game plan. And this is where a lot of people in chat and in supporters have got to understand. You can't just, in the middle of a season, just snap a finger and go, no, we're changing game plan. You can't do it. You might be able to adjust 1 or 2 little things, but you can't just throw out this year's game plan. Unfortunately, we're stuck with this garbage until the end of the year, and then it might be too late because by then the drums are beaten, and who knows what Graham Wright's seeing, because he's just sitting back, keeping his mouth shut, just eyes wide open, ears wide open, seeing and listening, and he'll make a call come the end of the year. And the one thing that I'm glad about is he's an outsider. And people, you hear him, oh my God, we've got another Collingwood person. Why are we doing this? I'm happy to have a Collingwood coach, Collingwood assistants, a Collingwood president, a Collingwood fucking CEO, because those guys are the best in the business. Like it or lump it, they are the best in the business. They've proven it for the last 20 odd years. Them and Hawthorn. Why are they always at the pointy end of the stick, at the ladder? And we sit there and go, no, we don't want these Collingwood infiltrators. Bring them, because they know how to run a football department. They know how to get the best out of their people. They know what to do. We want to bring Carlton people in. All we know how to do is lose.
Yeah.
But you want to fill our board up with all these new Carlton people. Oh, we've got to get Carlton people on the board. Why? They don't know how to win. We don't have a winning culture. We need a culture shift. And that's bringing in ex-Hawthorn, ex-Richmond, ex-Collingwood people who know what a winning culture is. And that will kickstart a culture change, not bring in a bunch of losers from 2005 or 2007. They don't know how to win. So, no, I don't know. It's for the first time in a long time, I'm actually looking forward to October, November, and to see what happens in the off season. Like, I'm really, really keen. And one more thing, like, people keep going on about the board. Oh, the fish rots at the head. We've had 3 presidents in 5 years or 6 years. Like, how many people on the board have changed in the last 6 years? Because it's not the people that they want. It's like, oh, we've got to sack the board. And it's like, they've moved most of the board on. And what people don't understand with this club, doesn't matter what 7 people you have at the board, it's the power to be above and beyond the back room who run the club. And this is what people don't understand. It's not the board that run the club. It's the mafia, the Carlton mafia that run the club. They're the ones that it's like in American politics. You know, Trump is a president, but it's Congress and that in the back rooms that run the country. They just tell Trump what to do. And that's what we've got at our club. And until that changes, we're going to be in for a lot of hurt.
Buckle up, Johnny. 9 more weeks.
Just one more thing before I leave. Don't let tonight get you down, mate. You got to keep smiling, keep punching, and roll with it. Because I see sometimes it gets to you, and I just hate to see you, in the doldrums because of this garbage. So keep your chin up, mate.
Thanks, Johnny.
No
Love you, mate.
buddy.
Take it easy.
Take care, buddy. All right, mate.
See
Bye.
ya. What a legend. Johnny fucking Holden, mate. Johnny fucking Holden. Wayne Carruthers, $10. No basics, no instincts, no direction. Looked like robots. Yeah. Bless time to bring Jad on. I don't know if Jad wants to come on, but Jad is always welcome on. Wowdy.
Hey, Terry.
Mate.
Yeah, look, this is the game that, when you're talking about coaches, this could be a coach killer, this one.
It smelt like it early, and then that
it did. At halftime, it smelt like that Hawthorn game late last year, if you remember.
Yep.
It had that vibe, and in the third quarter, it just got worse, and I was like, I stuck around. I did stay to the end. I don't know how I did it, but here's what I'm going to say. And there's one thing I'll slightly disagree with Johnny just then. If they move the coach on, whether it's this, before the end of this year or at the end of the year, there's been some board members that have been there for a number of years. Yes, they have moved on a few. We have an extraordinarily poor record of selecting coaches, and an extraordinarily poor record with selecting football directors. they're the ones that are responsible for making decisions of the CEO, the coach, and various other key positions in the football department. So until you shift that needle and bring in the right people, and the one thing I will agree with Johnny is whether they're Carlton people, whether they're not Carlton people, we want a skills-based board that have the skills. Yes, if they're Carlton supporters, fantastic, and I'm sure these people have great skills, but they can't make a decision if their life depended on it.
Do you know what I find interesting about that that notion, right? So like the board, you set them up based on their skills and what they've done ultimately in their careers and their standing in their careers and what they've done for society, whether it be from a business sense or communication sense. And it got me thinking, what about the marker being what you've done for the Carlton Football Club?
Yeah.
What, like, just because you were successful in business out there, why does that mean you know how to build a successful football culture at the Carlton Football Club?
That's right. What gives them the understanding of what a football club culture should be?
Yeah.
Certainly from an off-field perspective, yeah, marketing, sales, all those things, you know, there's a lot of transferability, but football director, look, I got a lot of respect for Greg Williams as a player. He's one of our champions, right? The bloke's bordering CTE, right? In terms of, the injuries that he copped and everything. So no disrespect to him, but if we're going to select a coach again, if they move on him, I'm not saying they will or won't. I'm a bit like you, Terry. I think wait till the end of the year, see where all this lands. Unless we have a really heavy loss in the next few weeks, just stick with him until the end of the year, then make a clear decision. But if they were to do that, there's some people on that board, I'm sorry, but they've been there for a number of years. And this is while Sayers was there in 2020, 2021. Yes, there's been a small turnover, and that there's been a little bit of that. But I'm sorry, but this has got to. There has to be systemic change. There's a number of board members that have been there for about 6 or 7 years, and we've had 2 or 3 coaches in that time.
Well, today during the President's Club function, Rob Priestley spoke, and he mentioned that this week the board ratified that the 2 vice presidents would be Paddy Kinnersley and Chris Townsend. Townsend just joined the board, right? So he has just joined, and now he's already vice president, and that was decided this week, according to the Pres.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
And as for the players, sorry, this list, they peaked for 11 game, 12, 13 game window, and there's been nothing since. It's just gone south. That sort of reached a peak, and now it's sort of, so this list needs to be some churn. Yeah, look, I'm not going to name players. I mean, we all saw it today.
Yeah, we all saw it.
We all saw it. We don't need to go through that. It's just, whatever, right? It's you don't show up the way we did, we had a lot to play for. That's what killed me. Is we had to win to stay in the hunt.
Well,
right?
that's the thing. So, that's why I was thinking about it going into the week. A lot of shit's gone down this year, and it's been pretty bad results-wise and performance-wise. But, you've kind of been gifted this opportunity to get back to 7-7. And, there might be dysfunction at the club, but for those of them that take the field, you're competitors, you're athletes. So it's how does that not just overcome your actions on the field? That's why it felt, and I'm sure they didn't protest, but maybe they did. It's why it felt like a protest, and they chose not to, crack in today.
And I think someone mentioned it earlier, but yeah, we did get bullied today.
Yep.
I just thought the goal of this team, this North Melbourne team, to just at every chance they were, and let's call it the dark arts of football, right? That the things that you do that you can get away with, right? Just a little shove and just put the rest of your body weight onto someone, and just there was just a lot of those things. And yeah, this is all Alistair Clarkson, right? That's how he coaches, right? And we just allow it to happen. There's no toughness. There's no response. We got a coach that played with in the most courageous way and was tough himself, and that DNA just was not there. It's not there. Cripps is a shadow of himself. Chera, he's had a good year, but today I don't know what happened. Hewitt's had a good year. He kept battling today. TDK, he's sort of on and off. Maybe still yo-yoing about whether he goes or stays. Make a decision, mate. Make a decision.
Yeah.
Look. We'll keep showing up.
Stick together. That's the only thing we can do.
That's all we can do. And look,
at this point, it feels like. Do you know honestly what it feels like right now? It feels like it's the supporters versus the club, and we're doing everything we can to just try and stick together in spite of what the people who are running the club are doing. And it honestly feels a little bit like that. It feels like us versus them now. Like,
yeah, yep, I think so. And look, I go out for walks on the weekend. I still wear my Carlton hat and everything.
Yeah.
That doesn't change, regardless of win, lose, or draw. So that's all you can do, right? We wear the colours. We do our bit. Unfortunately, we don't get that return on investment. So, but it's tough, and I understand. You get frustrated. The other fans get frustrated, and you know what? That's normal. That's par for the course for us. But when's this gonna end?
I don't think it does.
When's this mediocrity end, and when do we get to that point where we can be a sustainable football club that performs week in, week out, makes finals consistently? It's just, I said it a few years ago, you probably had it on replay in your fan cams. Have we grown up as a club? Have we become a modern AFL football club? I hope Graham right. And again, that guy, he's got a lot on his shoulders at the moment, but I just really hope he gets agency to make change and the right change. And I think if he's given the keys to do that, I think he's gonna shake this place up. And that's what it needs. It needs a little bit of a shake up. It needs a more than a nudge, but a bit of a rattle, and a strong one. And that's it. Every part of the football department, to the playing list, to recruiting, to everything. We got to make sure we get this right and make the adjustments where they're needed. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Mate, well said.
Keep it going, and all the best, and go Baggers.
Go Blues. Thanks, Wildy.
Thanks.
The great man. Matthew, spiritless, spineless, pathetic. Thanks for always showing up, mate. Of course. Where else would I be? I ain't got nothing else to do. Andy.
How you doing, bro?
Have you got the wine?
No wine today. I'm actually going out for drinks tonight, so I'm starting a bit late tonight.
Did you leave early?
Mate, I left halfway through the second quarter.
No fucking way, man.
Bro, the signs were there late in the first, and I was like, surely not, right? Like, we got lucky. I think they kicked 3 behinds. And I just remember saying to the boys, we look done. Like, we already look done.
So I don't know how much you heard. Johnny Holden just came on earlier and said that he left early, and I'm like, so Johnny,
Jesus,
someone else. I think
Johnny
Rocco
Holden.
a few weeks ago, or whatever it was. So it's just like these are the rusted-ons, like the fucking
Bro.
like
Look, for me, bro, and I'm only like, I'm sure there are people who do it 100 times harder than me, right? Bro, look, I've got a business to run. I've got a lot of responsibilities. So for me, it's like I sacrifice all this, and bro, I do it willingly. I love the club, and I'll do it again, bro. You know, for the rest of my life, I'll do it as long as I can. I will. And today, I was just like, I was looking at the body language of the players today in that second quarter, and they just tools down, bro. Just North Melbourne, you know, like if it happened to a Brisbane, if it happened to a Collingwood, you know, you'd understand, all right, these teams are a lot better than us. But are we so far behind? Like we said it last week, this is what we are, right? This is, and I learned that from you during the week, the previous week. And I accepted that. And I thought we were better than North Melbourne. I mean, only 2 months ago, we beat them by 15 goals. So I thought, you know, this is a safe game. It's a safe game.
oh man.
It just surprised me every week. It's just like, no, we can get better. We can get worse.
That's where I got to this week. I was like, look, we are what we are. I was thinking top 4 start of the year, you know, all of that. And it's like, all right, just accept. In my head, I'm like, just accept they're not it, and they're absolutely not winning anything this year. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I was like, you know what, North are going to be really hard at it this week. They're going to be pesky, but like win by a point, win by 2 points. Yeah. And so even then, like to even try and not get disappointed by lowering maybe the expectations, so to speak. And it's like, even then, fuck with you. And then they bring it back to 11 just to rub it in a little bit more.
Yeah. Like this is what we're capable of, but only for a glimpse. Only for a glimpse in a game. It could be any quarter now. Used to be the first quarter. Now it's the last. So I don't know, man. I'm not like I made a decision today that bro, my life, thank God, bro. I've got a good life, right? I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And it's just this club is just like this fly in my picnic. You know what I mean? It's a fly at my picnic. It's just there. And I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to let them ruin my day. The sun's out. The sun was out. And I thought, I haven't seen the sun in a while. I only get one day off a week, and that's when Carlton plays. I take that every week, right? So I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I walked to the station. I came with the boys, and we drove in. I just caught the train back home. I'm not doing it. Thank you. Caught the train. And when I was at the train station, this is what killed me. There was a guy down with his family from Ballarat. They had to leave. He's got, I think it was 3 or 4 kids. They had to leave because 2 of the kids wouldn't stop crying. And one of them at the station kept telling his dad, I don't want to go for Carlton anymore. I don't want to go for Carlton anymore. And this is where we're at. We're going to lose a generation of supporters, man, because they can't quite get it right. They just can't quite get it right.
What's your opinion on, like, how do we get through the next 9 weeks? I'm at a loss. Like, what to do? Like, this week I thought, let's rally. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's very clear. Week by week, it's just not it. So it's like, what are we to do to stay accountable, to stay observant, to stay resilient, to not hurt ourselves? Like, what do you think we do for the next 9 weeks? Like, how do we frame it?
I think as long as we're a mathematical chance, then the team has to field its best team, right? And I said it last week, bro. We have to minimize the damage for next year, right? Like I still think there's a chance next year, right? We have to think that with all the talent on the list, we have to think there's a chance next year. So I think it's on us as supporters to still hold the club accountable for, don't just pack it in now like they did for 2.5 quarters today, or 3 quarters, you could say. We still want consistent football. We want good habits to come into the team and carry that into next year. Because, bro, if we start, like, I get it, play the kids where you can, of course, and we've done that this year, and that's fantastic. We never do it, right? So it's good. It's good we've done that. But we have to build good habits. We need to work on good habits, because at the moment, the bad habits totally outweigh the good. And I think we have to hold them accountable to bring those good habits back into the team. And just looking back, I say it now, I've said it for a few weeks, man. I really think we not stuffed up, bro, but I really think making the 2023 prelim and the way the club handled making a prelim could have been a very bad thing. It's almost a detriment. It was the best experience of my life, and I'm sure many other Carlton supporters that are probably my age and younger. But looking back, we didn't do anything after that. Like, we didn't build that team. We didn't build on the team. We took a punt on Elijah Hollins. He was always going to be a punt. Now,
So, like,
2 years later,
you think, like, how would 2023 not happening have been better?
I think,
and why?
I think that's a very good question. So I think if we made finals, right, maybe the mass changes that are coming now, or I say mass, there might not even be any changes, but I feel like there might have been an urgency for change if we hadn't have made it so far in 2023. I feel like maybe we got complacent. Maybe we thought, no, we are good enough. We probably weren't. And last year, but the fact that we go up and down, and we did that in 22, we did it in 23, we did it in 24, we're not a good team. Like, good teams don't have those massive fluctuations. And I just think, had we not made a prelim, had we not go so deep, and this is all if, buts, and maybes, right? Like, I just think maybe there would have been an urgency for change or additions, just something different. I don't think we changed enough. We haven't evolved from 2023. Apart from playing more kids this year, I don't think we evolved. I don't think we got better from 2023.
Because when I reflect on 2023, if it didn't happen, that means no finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if that happened, that would have only grown the burden and the monkey on the back. I mean, if you really want to reflect, you find a breakthrough, you win 10 in a row, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I can't blame anyone who's in that position for saying, okay, finally we figured it out. Let's just keep going. Like, it's easiest. I mean, I kind of get your point around, like, I don't agree that it was the worst thing that happened to us, but, like, if that's how you see it, like, fair enough.
Yeah.
But, like, you've got to make finals to win a premiership over and over again. So, like, you got to keep putting yourself in the position.
I agree. I just think maybe we weren't managed well enough afterwards. That's my sticking point. And maybe saying it's the worst thing that could happen.
Was that the year that we got rid of Fisher, Dow, O'Brien, and those guys? 2023, end of 2023.
I think we got rid of them end of 22. I'm pretty sure Fisher this is his third year at North. I'm just thinking. Dow played in 23 actually, so maybe it was 23.
So end of 23, we got rid of the plotters, as they were called back then. The Dows, the Fishers, the O'Briens, and we regenerated a little bit. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
I think I just think too much, bro. Like, maybe I get in my own head a bit.
Well, I mean, we're all looking for answers. It's not like there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if anything, you want to. What was captured that night and that year was what it might look like for a lot of us supporters who'd never seen that before. And I would have thought that would have motivated the group to want to, like, get to the ultimate.
Same. It motivated us supporters.
Yeah,
like
man.
membership numbers grew, and we hit 100K again this week, which is fantastic. Well done, Carlton.
Because that's the thing as well. So, like, we got rid of those guys that weren't good enough that we drafted highly. So you got to kind of cop the shit sandwich that those recruits were wrong. Then the year after we got we got rid of the injury-prone guys, the Cunningham, Marchbank, Martin guys, because we were screaming out for that for so long. Last year we got rid of Russell because that was like one of the big glaring issues. And this year I don't know what the big. I mean, this year probably it's going to be like in the department that we're all shouting and screaming about what needs to change, and it's like we can't get ahead. We just can't get ahead.
One step forward, two steps back. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
And look, I think the message that I think the supporters need to kind of take in is just stick with it, right? It's going to be a tough road, especially for the rest of this season. But if we, I genuinely feel if we can take some good habits into next season and get some players motivated, like today, almost everybody just looked unmotivated. Everybody, man, when Jack Silvani is 10 meters off his man and he's not really chasing hard, man, he's our heart and soul. And there was no heart and soul from our heart and soul. So I don't know, man. You got to take positives. You got to build positives now in the last couple of months and roll it over into next season. You just have to. It can't be doom and gloom going into a new season.
Yeah, we'll find out who's going to be part of the future of the club now.
Yeah, that's right. And that's at every level, yeah. So, all good,
mate,
man.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for having me, Tez. All the best, bro.
Bye. That was great. That was therapeutic, that one. Oliver. Hello, mate.
Hey, Tess. How are you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Yeah, all right. First time caller. Just sitting back reflecting, I must admit. Yeah.
Is there any way to get your microphone connected? I feel like it's a bit echoey.
Can you hear me better now?
I can hear. It just sort of sounds like you're in a tin shed. I don't know.
Is that better?
Sure. Yeah. Fair. Yep.
Sorry, mate.
That's okay.
Just reflecting. You shared a post this week. The Princess Park and got me reflecting. I moved to Australia 2 months after the premiership in '95.
Wow.
So haven't seen anything great since. And I've just reflect to the '95 reunion that we just had and the players that you saw on the ground there and everything. And it's just, I'm in agreement with everybody's comments, and I think we're all from a particular generation, if you like, and I'm just in the generation that just needs to see some kind of change now. I think it was clear after today, and also the GWS Giants game where I saw you there. Something is clearly amiss, and I think if it's not the case here in the AFL this year, it soon will be the case, because you look at sports around the world, and you had the New York Knicks perform pretty well.
Can I interrupt you there? Are you connected to a computer, PC?
Yeah.
Can you hit on the bottom? Is there a settings button underneath you?
Yep.
So if you hit settings and you go to audio and you go to mic, are your headphones mic selected there?
Yeah, they are on. Everything's on mic access. Sorry, guys.
All good. No, that's okay.
All
Yeah,
good.
sorry.
I'm happy for you to jump ahead if you can't hear. All good. Yeah, just simply that they sacked Tom Thibodeau over in the NBA after a pretty good season for the New York Knicks, and I think we Carlton have to just through Voss, we have to make a statement, over the next 9 weeks. I just don't think we can just keep turning up the same team every week. I understand from comments we do have new players in the team. Yes, we do, but I don't think that we can really continue, as is. Especially, we're Carlton. We've got 100,000 members. We play North Melbourne, who've perennially been low on membership. Even after today, they might gain a few members. I just don't see how we should be accepting that kind of standard. And I think previous generations of, and the previous coaches, like back to David Parkin and everyone, they just wouldn't accept this. So there's clearly, for me, after today, there's clearly a fraction in the team, and it needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed right now, not at the end of the season.
No, fair. No, I agree. Mate, thank you very much for calling in. Sorry it was your first time and it was under such circumstances.
No, it's good to see you guys. Thank you.
See you, mate. Michael.
Hey, you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Third time on.
3 losses?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. There are a lot of things I wanted to say that I actually thought were covered by other people more articulate than I could. And the last 2 times I was on, I was nervous and was wanting to wet myself. But yeah, watching that game, they wet themselves.
They weren't up for it today, were they? They absolutely were not up for the task.
Well, it was weird because the first quarter, I mean, if you look at the scoreboard being 2-7, they had their chances. A lot of set shots they blew. And you get frustrated. And I hear all the talk about, oh, the coach has to go. Well, if he goes, do the rest go? And it's just the frustrating thing is that we all know the caliber of the players we have, as you know. They're top notch. Cripps has 2 Brownlows. You've got Kerner that has 2
Coleman's.
2 Coleman's. Yeah, sorry. I'm not going to be up for work in about 4 hours. Mackay has 1, but whatever. There's quality on the list. And we just make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
Poor play, poor kicks. Just, you don't coach that either. I don't think Michael Voss is sitting there on a Monday going, all right, guys, make the wrong choice. Kick it badly. But, and this was the first time I actually felt this today, yeah, he's probably done. And I love Voss. There's a connection to my grandma. My grandmother, Voss was her favourite player, and she was a 80-something-year-old Scottish tough nut. And it's like, yeah, if she could adopt someone, Michael Voss would, she would have adopted him at 30. It's just, yeah, I think a lot of it is the playing list. You don't coach dumb kicks. You don't coach dumb decisions.
No, I think those decisions and those dump kicks come when whatever structure you're trying to coach breaks down.
True. Very true.
So something keeps breaking down on the field out there. And then you sort of touched on the inaccuracy in the first quarter. I mean, I felt that in the first quarter as well. I was like, uh-oh, there's your 9 scoring shots, inaccurate. That's going to come back and cost us because we know that they're not getting 9 scoring shots in a quarter again for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because it was what, 2-6, 2-7 or something like that. It's like, man, if that was 6-3, we're sweet. It's just one of those weird, because you knew the second or third quarter fade out was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because we run on a clock, we run on a calendar. First quarter,
Right.
great. Oh, jeez. Okay, then the next two, maybe
Right.
something in the fourth. My concern, and I'll bring this up to you, I'm concerned that we're starting to look at Graham Wright as the Messiah.
Yep.
And it's the Messiah complex because, for the record, I'm 37. I've seen this a few times. We hired Pagan thinking, oh, that's the coach that's going to put us to the next level. No. And then we did it again when we got rid of Ratton, which I think was a bad move at the time. Malthouse. Oh, yeah, Malthouse will take us to premiership. He's the Messiah. No. So my concern is that I think we might start looking towards an individual as the.
Well, we've been doing that for decades.
Yes, that's where I'm concerned with Wright. He does have a proven track. He helped build that Hawthorn list that won multiple premierships. He instilled McRae at Collingwood. He does have the reputation and the background to go, yep, okay, he's got the mileage and he's got the proof. But I don't think Carlton is going to be fixed by one person.
Yep.
And look, we are probably going to have to make some big, tough calls with our list at the end of the year. Do we let TDK go? We might have to. I don't like it. I like TDK as a player. I think a lot of our problem is our list might not be that as dynamic as we need going forward. And look, Jagger Smith next year could be the next Chris Judd, could be the next anything.
We're doing it again.
And look, and that's not a knock on Jagger, man. You do your ACL in a preseason game. You can't knock the kid. But we don't have the capital.
Yeah.
If we need to diverse and progress the list, we're going to have to make some very, very tough decisions. We might need to get rid of, get rid of in the throwaway garbage sense.
I understand. But yep.
There are going to be some very tough calls we need to make.
There will.
Because, I guess the throwback to you on that question is, what would you do with the playlist? Do you have a player that you think we might need to sacrifice in the short term for long-term game? Or because we're in that position. If we leave it for another 12 months or 18 months, if Tassie does come in, that draft capital is not there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
we just have to wait 9 weeks. So we can talk about that. We've been talking about what you just said every week. We're going to talk about it more in 9 weeks and more throughout all of October. And it's a waiting game now. So
my goal, my hope is, regardless of where we are on the ladder, up, down, lose, win, just give them free reign. Fight for your position. Fight for your, fight for
your club.
Yeah. Because if they do that and we can see that, I reckon everyone will feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's just a weird. What? Less than 2 years ago, we were 2 goals off a grand final.
Yeah.
Do you have
No,
this to capitulate?
Yeah. Michael, I'm going to leave it there, my friend.
No worries, mate. All good.
You have a great one. Thanks for calling in.
You too, mate. Thank you.
Bye. Lewis.
Hey, Tez.
Are you going to send me into a spin cycle right now? Is that what we're about to do?
I actually wrote a letter.
You wrote a letter?
Yeah.
Tell me what you wrote. Yes, please read it out.
This is going out to the Carlton fans. And also you guys, everyone. Carlton fans, I'm really sorry that you went to the game or watched home like I did. The players are not doing their jobs to secure good wins. There are some players that try and give it their all, but it's not enough. Us fans deserve better. We stuck to this club, even in the darkest of times. We attended because we love this club. At this point, I consider Carlton not only a club, but a family, which all you are. I'm hurt on what this powerhouse has turned into. We're not up to AFL standard and not where we need to be judging on expectations and list. Our game plan does not work, system is not clicking, and our selection committee doesn't do the right selections and make us look out of balance. Seeing this game made me realize that we love the club more than the players. It doesn't seem like they care because on how they respond on field, whether if we boo or cheer for them or give them money to attend. If players care about money, then the club, they can go. We need players that want to win and play with everything they have. In order to start progress, there must be changes. It must be done to move forward. Tough decisions, like everyone has been saying, must be done on players, board, and the coaches. To me now, Voss is not the man for the job. He doesn't know on what needs to be done on the field with the players to shape them up mentally. We fade or be inconsistent is because we do not want to do the hard stuff and play 4 quarters, which I consider soft. Hard is there for only 2 quarters, but that can only get you so far. Our minds are broken and not there. I leave by saying, Terry and Blue Board family, let's keep attending games and to fan cams, win or loss, and we stick together because that's what we do. We are stronger together. We will always love and care about this club. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. Good night. Go Blues. There you go. That's all I have to say about
that. Was brilliant. Lewis, thank you. That was really good.
Thanks, Tez. See you
Appreciate
next
you. See you, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Matt, $8. Thank you. Charlie apparently gave Voss a dink out of the gym tonight. He's riding a bike. He's riding a bike. Charlie Curnow, he's riding a bike. AJ, quick shout out to you, Tez. What you do makes it a little bit easier for us and will make our eventual success all the more special. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, AJ. Trust me, this helps me as much as what it helps you. It's a very special thing, this whole session. It's like intangible. It's like a soul, like the whole soul and spirit thing that we talk about. Like you can't put a stat on what the fan cams is. The live streams are like, it's just a feeling. It's Carlton. Like we've found a way to bottle up the spirit into the digital world. It's incredible. So thanks for being here. All right, Aiden. You're on mute, bro.
Oh, how are we?
Good, mate. You were the winner of the tickets this week. We tried to get you there. We tried to get you up and about. We tried to get you happy and smiling, and the boys let you down, mate.
Yeah, I think that smile kind of deteriorated last night because unexpectedly my grandfather unfortunately passed away. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Sorry to hear.
nah, it's all right. But yeah, I ended up still going to the game. But yeah, what can you say? Same thing every week.
Yeah.
Literally, like I haven't really tuned into what people have said, but I think what I saw today was probably by far the worst thing I've seen all year. We couldn't kick, couldn't hand pass. Like we were in control of the game for the first quarter, but yeah, we couldn't kick properly. But look how we kicked the thing inside 50. Just bombed the thing right in there. And yeah, North were good, but we could have like I don't know. Like what else is there to say? Like it's literally the same thing each and every single week. Repeat the same issues, but this week was worse. And funny that Voss going off at Jackson Binns, but yet you got three potential leaders there. Sorry, not potential. You got three leaders next to him who have been shocking for 3-4 weeks, who probably don't even get what Binns got today from Boss. But
I can't believe. I mean, I haven't seen the footage, but people have said that he was having a crack at Benzi. I need to see it. I need to see it.
he literally like screamed at his face. Like he literally said to him, Binzi, do your fucking role. Well, I could have like yelled that out to 15 other players today, 4 or 5 other leaders, because some of the players, like, I don't think they care enough, to be honest. You got Silvani, like, making half-assed efforts. Like, some of the players were, I don't think I don't know what their motivation is. Like, what are they here for? Like, do they want to win, or, like, is it something else? Because, like, if you're performing like that today, then for the next 9 weeks, it's just going to get worse. Because if we nearly got pumped by North by 10 goals, imagine what Collingwood and Brisbane are going to do to us when we face them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just bad at the moment. Like, I never thought we'd regress this bad after 2023. Obviously, there needs to be changes that need to be made. Plays need to go. As you know, like, I'm full on with Voss probably needed to get changed, but I don't think that will happen anytime this year. They'll probably stick fat with him until the end of this year and reassess from there. But again, like, as I said, if you're going to sack him, then you got to get rid of players, footy department, assistant coaches, because it's not just from one person. It runs collectively from top to bottom. And yeah, Graham Wright, will he change stuff? He probably will, but he needs. I don't think all those changes will be done in one off season, to be honest with you. But
because that's the other thing as well, right? Like change will be change, but then you have to let that change settle, and that's just the cycle that we just don't have. You know, get rid of the B graders on the list. You got to sort of let that settle. You get rid of the injury prone players on the list. You got to let that settle. Get rid of Russell. You got to let that settle. This year it's going to be whatever it's going to be, department changes or player changes. You kind of got to let that settle. We just don't have that. Like a lot of us want change, if not all of us. Are we willing to accept what's going to come with change? I don't know.
Yeah, because then again, like I'm pretty sure you mentioned this before the year began or something like, or end of last year after we lost to Brisbane. You said something like, if we change the coaches, if we change this, then that's when new foundations will be made. That's when the players will need to get used to new relationships. So it's like, I get it. Like we can probably be up there, like in a short period of time, but knowing the players that we have and the club that we are, it's probably going to take a while. And like I get it. Like a lot of people aren't patient. I'm not. Like I want something now. But if you're gonna go through like a lot of changes, especially with coaches and all that, depending on who we get and players, then we probably have to wait a fair while. I'm not saying 5-6 years, like probably less than that. But then again, like it depends what the club do, and depends who they bring in. So yeah, the one positive that I'm going to say about the game is thank God that Wiedering didn't do anything bad because
Oh yeah,
I
man.
I was on my phone and then I saw on the big screen like the place went quiet. I'm like, what's going on? And then I looked at the big screen. I thought he did his knee, and I literally was like, oh fuck, no, this is the last thing that we need. And he ended up going back on, so that's the only positive out of the game. But
Yeah.
I do feel like that we got rid of a lot of depth as well after 2023. Fisher, Dow. Who else did we get rid of? We got
Fisher, Dow, O'Brien, a lot. It was like 7 changes. Dom McQuay, those types. Like, if anything, when I look at the list as a whole right now, like I know that the top end aren't performing at their best, but I mean, one thing I think I've seen this year is the likes of Harry O'Farrell give me some confidence for the future. The likes of Matt Carroll give me confidence for the future. I mean, Hudson O'Keefe, it's only been a game and a bit, but there's something there. Seems to be something there for the future. You know, we're already talking around Harry Dean and Cody Walker and the NGA kids, and Cooper Lord. Oh man, we're doing another rebuild, aren't we?
Yeah, and then we're talking
about a 5-year
Jagger,
plan, isn't it, Aiden? It's another 5-year plan, my friend.
Then we're talking about Jagger Smith being the next big thing, like we did with Cripps and Walsh.
And then it's like, oh, just wait till they turn 26, 27, 28. Oh, boys and girls, just wait. Let them get a few preseasons under their belt. Then they turn 26, 27, 28. The same cultural issues are there. We have to fucking trade them and rebuild and start again.
Yeah, but what does that sweep down to? Like when you're saying all that, does that sweep down to the fan base, or does that what does that come down to? Because I feel like based on what you said, and everyone says that, I've said it, do you think that goes through in the club?
Oh.
Do you think if they hear that, do you think, oh yeah, like it'll be fine, like just wait till they develop, wait till he comes in, wait till he does this, and then it's like a cycle. Like you'd hope that the club don't think that, but it wouldn't shock me because the way that we're playing and the way that we're going seems to me that I don't know. But yeah, what do you think for the rest of the year now? Like, do you think it's dead? I do after today.
I mean, honestly, I just, like I've constantly said, just got to find a way to keep moving. And, you know, we're in the mud, and it's just to try and not get stuck in the mud and try and kind of like cut the cycle, so to speak. And I mean, us as supporters, and, you know, we can't control the results. We can only really control how we sort of treat each other and that sort of thing. And, you know, I'll have a think about it over the next few days. I just don't know. Like, I thought this week was the week to rally, get to 7-7, see what happens. Like, fuck it. That obviously didn't happen. So it's like, all right, more healing. Like, we've got to purge more about the past, and like, man.
I think what everyone can relate to is that everyone's just over and sick. They're just over it and sick of what's been happening, not just this year, but the last 10 years especially. And people want success now. And yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, like what more can you say? Like, really, like you just repeat the same stuff every week. Like you just tend to run out of like new things to say. But
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it surely can't get worse from here. So it won't surprise me.
It will.
Yeah.
It absolutely will get worse from here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Yeah, coming from me, it will.
Yeah.
It will.
Having the thought of what Collingwood and Brisbane will do to us is just frightening. So
it will. Aiden,
yeah.
I'm sorry that we couldn't get you to the game and turn your vibe around, but Sending condolences to the family as well. Hope you guys are okay.
No, thank you. Thanks, Terry.
All right,
Thanks.
mate.
Yeah.
Marta, $8. How do I think Cripper feels about this? Coda deserves better. Yeah, well, I think everyone feels awful about it. Yeah. What up, sis?
Hey.
Hey, what's going
Hello.
on?
Oh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Should have seen the emotional eating I did at halftime. Scones
Yeah.
and party pies on the fucking tap, mate.
Yep. I just ate a whole pizza.
They make us broke, fat,
Mm,
and pathetic.
yeah. Yes, and miserable. And you know what? I still like I feel like I was there at the game, obviously, but I feel like I wasn't even really watching. I was
Yeah.
kind of disassociating a little bit because I just couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't loop into what was happening. I couldn't
Mm.
focus my attention for too long because it was so shit.
Mm.
And then I saw the post that the club put up of Charlie on his bike because he's a chill guy. Have you seen it?
Charlie's on his bike. Charlie's on
Charlie's on his
bike.
bike. They captioned it something like he's a chill guy, and yeah, he is. He's a chill guy.
That's the fucking
Unfortunately,
problem, man.
that's
That's
the
an
fucking
issue.
issue. A little bit too chill.
I mean, they're telling us everything, aren't they?
Yeah, and there's no illusions. If you go through all of the posts, everything that comes out of the club, it's all there. We all assign our own feelings to it, and we all assign meaning to it all. But really, the writing's on the wall. The way they perform, even if you go and watch them train, everything. We're like, oh yeah, but maybe it's this, and but maybe there's something in it. No, they're just shit. That's it. There's nothing in it.
Today they were
Oh my
that
God.
second quarter was actually dog shit.
Yep.
Like actual fucking dog shit.
Yeah. And you could have imagined my face the whole time. Literally, like, terrible. Terrible. It was terrible. The best thing about the day was the sunshine. That's it. There was nothing else. And we left early as well.
When did you leave?
Just before the end of the third quarter. Yeah.
You didn't get to see the fight back.
No. Oh, and then on the train on the way home, people were watching on their phones, and you chat to the people next to you, and we were chatting to this guy, and this person who was standing next to me was so angry when we started to come back.
Same.
He was so angry. He was losing his mind, and we all felt the same. I mean, we were planning to go out tonight for dinner, and then we got home and we thought, nah, let's just get a pizza and sit on the couch and wallow in self-pity.
Again.
Yep. Anyway, I actually came on here to see how you are.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just drinking my tea.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad when, like, it's not really angry. It's just sad.
Yeah, it is. But it's
If anything,
done now.
There was more anger after the wins the last few weeks than what I've seen today.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Maybe there's some comfort in I don't know, maybe I personally feel like it's season over, so maybe there's some relief in that. It's like a weight lifted off the shoulders. Like, I don't know, that's just what I think. That's how I feel. Like, I don't think I'm going to go into any game now thinking, oh yeah, maybe. It just doesn't matter anymore. It's pretty bad, actually.
But hey, Charlie's a chill guy.
Yeah, I liked the comment, Charlie Chill guy. I liked the comment about Charlie giving Voss a dink. It's great. Uh,
It's good.
no, it's just embarrassing. Anyway,
Anyway,
enjoy. And I wanted to say that the letter, is it Lewis that wrote the
yeah,
letter? That was
yeah.
beautiful.
Wasn't
That
that
was
lovely?
perfect.
He
Perfect.
put
All
his
right, I'll let you
thoughts
go.
on paper and
Yeah.
he succinctly got them out.
And it was very, very well written, and it probably captured the sentiment that all of us are feeling watching this too. So
Shout out to Lewis.
well done,
Yeah.
Lewis.
See you, Steffi.
Love ya.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Jad is here.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Good. Where are you?
No, I'm at work. So,
True.
if you check your phone later, I actually messaged you saying I didn't have anything to say. I've said everything I wanted to say. And then I remembered something. All right. Forget about today. All right. Actually, just on today. Okay, there's probably 3 or 4 players who will be gone at the season's end, but overall, I still back the list. I don't think it's a player issue, really. Maybe there's some micro issues with certain players, but nothing that I feel can't be ironed out under some proper leadership. So I'm not concerned there. What really has bugged me, and it's probably been 3 years, it's the culmination of 3 years of Brian Cook's tenure. Now, you know where I stand on the identity piece, okay? And how I feel the club and fans are misaligned in our identity, like what we are, what we're allowed to be, what behaviour is acceptable, how we support. And then his comments at the start of the week, or was it the end of last week, just solidified it for me. Brian Cook has never accepted us or understood us. And if he has, he's certainly never accepted us as a fan base of what we are. We celebrate losses like funerals. We celebrate wins like premierships. We're too volatile. We're too emotional. We're not Geelong. We're not the calm, vibey, calm Geelong crowd. We're too toxic. It's too extreme. And thank you, Brian, for the last however long it's been. But your tenure has been incredibly forgetful. And I actually feel like it's borderline disrespectful now to keep telling us as fans that we're not up to standard. We're not good enough. Okay, so my example for this, look at Collingwood. I hate bringing up the Pies, but fuck, whatever. We just lost to North. Stuff it. Collingwood know that a good percentage of their supporter base are knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing dole dwellers. They know that. However, they do not tell their supporters to be anything other than what they are. They don't lecture their supporters of how to take losses or celebrate wins or go easy on the players or this and that. They accept that is a club that is aligned, that the identity from the club and the supporter base is aligned as one. They know that their fan base is flawed, but they will back them in. Especially on a public forum, they will back their supporters in. And look at their supporters. Their supporters back their players in. All the legal trouble with what their supporters, rightly or wrongly, they back their players in. And I believe it's because their supporters do not, where they feel from the club that they are allowed to be what they are. So for us, if it's Brian Cook, if it's Graham Wright who's next, I want the next brass of leadership to let us be what we are as Carlton supporters. Just let us be. And I think you'll find if you let us be, then the club will accept it and everything will just start to get on a road to recovery. Especially from a PR point of view. You only have to go on the Carlton Twitter page to see the bloody comments.
Mm.
We're not aligned with this club, and I feel when we became the new Carlton back in 2015, our identity got completely lost because we were essentially told we have to throw out everything that made us what we are and accept this new identity that other clubs have adopted. Like, just let us be what we are, please. Like, it's not that hard. Stop faking it. Stop trying to tell us to be this, this. Just let us be. We're volatile, yeah. We're emotional, yeah. We celebrate losses like their funerals, yeah. That's what got us to where we are. Have we shown arrogance as a supporter base? Yes, we have. The Carlton swagger exists for a reason. That's what we are. That's what this supporter base embraced when this club became what it was.
Well, I think the swagger and arrogance came to be because of decades of success, decades of being in the finals race and winning premierships every 8 years on average from that pit, whatever. I'm with you in that you can't tell people what to be and what not to be. I do think there is a slight bit of evolving that we do need to do as a fan base. Like the emotions, that's going to always be there, but it's when you get the instances of like the players getting personally attacked through all the channels that you do. Like, I think that's not going to have an environment for the players to thrive. But I do think for a long time they've put the fan base collectively in the too hard basket. Like, it's just too big of a task to try and kind of connect with, and it kind of is. And again, I've said this a couple of times now. For all the criticisms I've had of Sayers, he was the one that I thought was ready, willing, and able to step into it, like where it was going digitally and live streaming. Like, he was ready to step into it and face it. This is where the tech has brought us. Like, you have the opportunity to speak to your fans at scale with technology, and you're still writing emails. Like, what are you doing? So I think everything needs a little bit of an adjustment. I also think the part of the identity, like they've clearly made a decision to become more than just a football club. It's become a board, like a canvas for sending the right messages about the world, doing good for the community and the like. But I think the most important thing in life is less about telling the world what you are and more about doing what you are. Like, be the good people, be respectful, be all of these things by doing it, not by telling me that you do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, mate, you can be all those things. You can have all those social causes. You can, sprout the good message, but you gotta do it. You gotta be you while you say it.
Yeah.
You have to be yourself when you're saying those things. You can be those because they're just messages. What about the characteristic of what we are?
Yeah.
Our character was built in those early years. Don't try and strip it away from us because, we don't want people to think we're arrogant and this and that. That's who we are. Like, you got to embrace that. Like, look in 2023 when we made that prelim, they got the full brunt of how great it can be to play for the club. The supporters up in Brisbane, how they got greeted like they were rock stars. You got to accept the good with the bad. You have to accept it. And the thing with players being abused and that, I just think that is the way it is when you're a professional athlete. It's on those at the club to be strong enough with their teachings and how they develop these players and whether or not they're going to read into those comments and buy into it, because it's always going to be there. You can't shelter people from the harsh realities of the world. Every time I come on these fan cams, there's someone telling me I'm shit or I'm an idiot or I'm clueless. I don't care.
That's a
testament. Yeah, like that's a testament to my upbringing, mate. Like it's on the club to develop these players to be mentally tough. They come in there when they come into the club when they're 18. You're pretty much sharing the players with the club and their parents. I mean, you've got to instill the mental toughness. And if you're going to read, this supporter saying I'm shit or I'm this, so what? Brush it off. Keep going. It's just been lost.
It's rather than Stop trying to pretend it's not there and start getting. You want them to be
Yeah.
strong enough to deal with it, rather than do whatever you can to limit them.
Yeah, and sorry to cut you off. It's exactly how we treat the Collingwood rivalry. That is the microcosm of how we treat the rivalry. We pretend it doesn't matter. We pretend, it's just another game. You win some, you lose some. It's like the club is too afraid to publicly show that they care about things because that opens you up to criticism if you fail. Oh, but you said you were going to win a premiership in 2025 and you didn't. So, life goes on. You try again. Just state what you want. It's like, don't be afraid to state what you want and who you are. If you read Collingwood's, I think you brought up on the channel not too long ago, you read out their constitution and there was something at the end of it about embracing our people. Just that language. We don't have that. That doesn't exist at our club. We're viewers. We're viewers.
Customers.
Who go to viewing sessions now. So it's funny because that's what we are. It's like, you're invited to come and see the fucking prestigious Carlton training program. View it from behind the glass. The next leadership has to embrace the fan base. I'm so sick of being told we're too arrogant, we're too volatile, we're this and that. That's absolute bullshit. The best clubs in the world embrace their people, rightly or wrongly. It's who you are. Just let it be. Anyway,
well, this is where I think it gets tricky because there's like I said earlier, I mean, there's us, those who are chatting on the cams, and those of you who come on weekly, and like us. Then there's like the different type. I was sitting in a room today with a whole different type of people, but we don't seem to have one common language. It seems to be spoken to a different type of person, and I think that is the tricky part. How can you speak to your people and empower your people, whether they be players, fans from all different backgrounds, in a way that everyone can get behind a message and speak a similar language? And it's just, we're just so off it, man. Yeah.
And even before I go, I've really got to go. But one more point: even the way they thanked the 100K members, it was like a bloody quarterly earnings report statement. It wasn't. It didn't feel like it was. Thank you to our people. We wouldn't be where we are without you in a season where it's been a tough year, but you've stuck by us. Nah, it's thank you. We've reached 100K members. Good night. It's just whatever. They've got to do a lot. They've got to do a lot to win me back. See you, mate.
Fair.
Yeah.
See
all
you,
right,
brother.
Terry. Thanks for the time, mate. I have to go.
See you, mate.
Bye-bye.
Fucking love Jad, man. I love Jad. Beachy.
It's taken me a little while to calm down after today's game because I had to say this, Tez, but that was the worst game of football that I have seen in 33 years of my existence. And it happens to be against the side that is 16th and has ended our season today. There's no excuse for defending that.
I just got a severe case of deja vu, Beachy. You and I sitting here after the Hawthorn loss last year, because that game today had moments of it in that second quarter of that Hawthorn loss last year. Like, I literally just zoned out for a second there. I thought we were back there.
Well, you know what? If you want to start naming examples, let's go back to the COVID year when we were back in the hubs, 2020. I'm sitting this in the exact spot after the loss to Adelaide. I've almost broken down because of how the hell we played against the Crows. Aside that, in years gone by, including this year and in recent years, where they've had the wood on us, particularly in Adelaide. And it's just infuriating at times, Tez, and that you just sit there thinking, what can we do? What can we do to change this?
I think the reality is we there's certain things we can do. We can keep talking about what we're seeing and getting the message across to the club. But, for the most part, what we see on field is largely, if not all, out of our control. There's a little bit that can be done with energy and that sort of thing, but it comes with good performance and it comes with whatever they're doing out there. And this is the hardest thing. Like, we're not in control of what can happen. There's a bit that I think we can put pressure on to control, but that's the beauty and the curse being a supporter.
Of course. And look, I acknowledge that. There are some things we just can't control. I get that. Everyone gets that. But you've gone 50 down to North Melbourne at one point. Okay? 50 down. Surely something had to click. Surely something had to change. And yet nothing happened until the final quarter when the game, in terms of a contest, was over.
Yeah. Five-day break, Port Adelaide in Adelaide, Thursday night football.
I'm glad I'm not going over to that because I reckon if that was going to be a long game, then this is going to feel even longer when there is a ropeable Port Adelaide crowd who, by the way, have just lost to Sydney tonight. So fantastic. 71-52. And so, we're both coming off a loss there, but we've got to go to Adelaide. And I'm just looking at something else. And we've lost to North Melbourne in the reserves by a point. Fantastic. It's been a great evening.
Beachy, we've been doing this for a long time. You were one of the first callers to the fan cams, mate, back in the day.
Yeah, and honestly, mate, I wouldn't have it any other way because, as I said to you at the end of the year, mate, this is just a way for us to, vent.
Yeah.
Really, this pretty much is it. If we lose, it becomes a place to vent. If we win, it becomes a place for us to celebrate together. And we're going to keep doing it, mate, because that's what we do. We're loyal people to everybody. We're loyal to the base. We're loyal to the club. And sometimes, whether it's a win, loss, or draw, everything just goes through everybody.
Well said, mate. Sending you all the strength. See you Thursday night. We're talking about whatever we're talking about on after the Port game.
Well, I think we all need that strength, but I can tell you now. So I'll see you Thursday, and we'll go from there.
See you, Beachy.
Cheers,
So good. Johnny Holden with the reminder. Yeah, there's about 900 of you here in the chat watching. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Do you know about 42% of you who watch the fan cams are not subscribed to the channel? It's blasphemy. Please hit the subscribe button and help a channel out. Okay, let's move along. Only Carlton.
What's up, bro?
Hey, man. We're doing all right.
Are we?
I mean, all things considered.
Look, I don't know how we gone backwards this much as a team. We beat North by 80 points just 2 months ago, like 8-9 weeks ago. How are we now playing against them? I know we have a slightly injured side, but how do we go out against them and lose by what realistically should have been 40 plus?
Yeah.
Right? The margin was 30
What were we down by? Was it like 46? Was that the peak of it?
I think something like that. It didn't hit 50, but we were down by 30 with like 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left.
Bruh.
And then we decided to come back. We're like, oh, we'll learn how to play footy again. And then Motlop starts turning into the greatest player of all time. I don't know, man. I don't know what I watched. Like, we won the inside 50 count by like 15 plus, I think. We won contested possessions. We won uncontested possession. We won uncontested marks. We won contested marks. We won every stat except the scoreboard, the one that matters. How do we consistently do that? We do that every week. Every time we lose, we did against Richmond. We did it against Bulldogs. We've done it every time we've lost this year. We lose. We win every stat except the scoreboard. How does that make sense?
That doesn't make sense. So do you think that's an indicator that we're almost there, or
I
that
think that's an indicator that we're so mentally weak. Like, I think that we can get 99% of the job done, right? I guess it's like kicking efficiency as well, because inside 50s, we had a 10% goal efficiency. We had like 10 goals from, I don't know, however many, man. I don't know. I don't know stats. Numbers are hurting my brain. I don't want to think about anything right now, to be honest. It took me 2 hours to get home on the train because the Caulfield line doesn't work. I don't know, like... Oh, I'm ranting.
So you're like new generation, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about how to absorb the next like 9 weeks? Like, what's your perception of what's important in the next 9 weeks now?
I think, well, finals is pretty much off the table. I'm not optimistic anymore. I was, not anymore. I think the only thing we can take from these next 9 weeks now is either developing kids, giving kids the run, or trying to bring good habits into next year, not fading out, just showing improvement. That's all I want to see. That's what I wanted to see this week as well. But we've just gone backwards. We continually keep going backwards. We played, the Essendon game wasn't a good game. Then we played West Coast, where we played a worse game than the Essendon game. And then this week, we obviously played worse because we lost to North Melbourne, our bottom 2 side. I don't know. That's the only thing we can look for. Take good habits, right, and play the kids. That's because this season's done.
How many kids is too many? Or is there such thing as too many kids? I mean, I think we have seen that there is such thing as too many kids.
Yeah, well, we don't want to go crazy with it. We don't want to drop Charlie for Lemmy and all that. But if there's an opportunity to play a kid, even if there's a slight opening, you take it. Right? There's so many kids that are untried. Like, you've got Lemmy hasn't played a game, which I don't think he'll play a game for the rest of the season. I think he should have been brought in. I don't think Kerno was 100% fit. Watching him play, watching him get pocketed by Toby Pink. Who the fuck is Toby Pink? What? Who is that? I didn't know who he was before this game. I had to search him up during the game. I'm like, who the fuck is this ginger cunt pocketing my forward, bro, Kerno? He gets a free kick in the first minute of the game, and he didn't do anything since.
He's actually a pretty solid defender, to be fair to Toby Pink.
I didn't know who he was. I don't know. Was he? Did he get drafted this year, last year? What is this?
I don't know exactly where he's come from, but mate, he's a battler, and he, is an honest player.
I'll tell you what, he's a better defender than half of ours, most of ours. I think the amount of, because I was there, I was in the North Melbourne cheer squad again. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but the amount of broken tackles I saw was disgusting, bro. And it's not just you like, I know Hollins usually doesn't stick tackles, but you had people like Haynes, you had Wiedering, you had Silvani just missing tackles, bro. It looked like we were boys playing against men. It looked like we were a part of the Oz kick and we're playing 1995 Carlton, bro. Like, we made North look that good. They were having fun. They were selling candy. The supporters around me are having fun. I'm just sitting there in the cold. I couldn't believe it. Like, I don't know. But Kerno wasn't fit. I want to get back to that. Kerno was not fit. That's not him, right? He's a lazy player, whatever. That was not Kerno. Why is he playing if he's not fit? Why?
He's not inspired. Like, he's not playing with the spirit. Like, he's an energy source.
Definitely, he's a barometer.
That's what he is. He's a source of energy, and when he's up and about, it's infectious, and that has not been a feature of him this year at all.
Do you think it has anything to do with his outside commitments, or is that dumb?
I am not sure how obsessed he is with winning a premiership. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many. A lot of them are with winning a premiership, And the thing is, like, there's also a reality here. Like, making the AFL and just playing the AFL is a great achievement, and for the most part, it'll be the greatest achievement of some of these players' lives. I was talking to a guy at the game today, and it's like, I think one of the most important things moving forward when it comes to recruiting is finding people who are actually passionate about winning premierships.
Yeah.
Even you know, and there are going to be those in the category of they just want to play footy for a living and it's a great job and get paid well and set their life up, and that's okay. Just don't have them at this club moving forward anymore. I think that's really important. Like, try and figure out characteristics of those who genuinely care about the flag, genuinely obsess about the flag, and you know, those who are there just because being in the league is an achievement. That's okay. Just go and do that somewhere else.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Even if they're not motivated to win a flag, right? They're all mates. You would all think that they're mates, they're good mates, whatever. Does it not motivate you to see someone like Patrick Cripps, who's given the best part of 12 years to this club? He used to take back injections to get through games in 2021. He's won 2 Brownlows. He's your captain. He's won, like, he didn't play a final until he was like 29, 28. Does that not motivate you to play better? That, oh, let's get this kind of grand final. Let's get this kind to play. Sorry for swearing. To play in finals. Does the group not give a shit?
But then I take your point, and I still remember his 200th late last year against the Dogs just being awful. But don't you think that's falling a little bit into that whole Messiah thing? Like, do it for one guy. Like,
I mean, but if you don't give a shit, I mean, it's not ideal. But I mean, at least do it for him.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because it seems like these guys just don't care. We just didn't want to win. We didn't want it enough.
No
As
way.
soon as I sat down and started watching the game, after that first quarter, I said to myself, it's happening. We were dominating the game, and we weren't hitting the scoreboard. We were keeping North in the game. And that second quarter, I'm pretty sure we went goalless, or scoreless even. And they kicked like 6 goals.
One behind in the second quarter to 6 goals, 1, I think it was.
Has
Maybe
North
6
Melbourne
goals, 2.
When was the last time North Melbourne kicked 6 unanswered goals against anyone in the last 6 years? This was the same team we smashed by 80 points, bro, 2 months ago.
True.
How are we going backwards? Is it the coach? Who do you put? I don't want to put you on the spot, but who is more at fault, the coach or the players? Who do you put the blame on? I know it's the collective, because it can't be just the coach, it can't be just the players. But who do you think has more blame?
Something I've found over the years is the players get an out very quickly. I would hope that at this point of the group's senior leader experience, that they should be ready to sort of take the reins and take it on themselves to move forward with it. And it kind of looks like they need to be babied a little bit more than maybe where they should be. So, I mean, we can talk about the next coach if we want. Like, name any name. John Longmire, cool. One thing we've never done with a new coach is continue to build the right pieces around that coach. Again, Messiah, the one coach is going to come and he's the one that you're all going to lift up on your shoulders when he brings us the flag. So, like, these players have they have an attitude issue at times.
Yeah.
And again, that might be because they believe in the plan or they don't believe in the plan, or there's the Carlton clique about it and the favorites and maybe there's so many avenues you can go to with the conversation, but it's just everyone, man.
It really is.
Everyone,
every facet of the club.
It's a whole club, man. It's the whole thing. You
Except
know?
the supporters. We're pretty good.
No, I think it's all of us, man. Everyone. Like, it's everyone. Everyone plays a role.
Yeah. What do we do with the next couple of years? Since we don't make finals this year, right? Most likely. What do you want to see from the next couple of years? Do you want to see us still pushing? Do you think we're still in a premiership window next year?
What does that even mean? Sorry, but oh man. Oh dude. What are you saying? I don't even know. Like, I don't know. Like
do
we
you
could
think
just as easily win a spoon next year as what we could win a flag, if not more so to the spoon. I don't know.
that's so scary? That's so scary to say, and it's true. Like, yeah, I
The
don't
highway to hell, bro. That's what we're at.
know.
Anyway.
I don't know. I don't have anything else to say, bro.
Well, I
I'm
think
speechless.
the main message, honestly, is just like stick together as a fan base, and
Yeah.
try not to, dig at them personally too much. Like, and take the frustration is going to be taken out on all of them. But I mean, obviously, those you got a little platform going on. Like those of us with platforms, like there's responsibility with that. So,
Yeah.
I think just we got to try our best to just keep moving and not create more of the problem and be more of the problem, be more of the solution.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, thanks for calling in.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. See ya.
All right, bye. Paul Sebastiani.
Hey, mate.
Very keen to document your experience today. Holy fuck.
Lot going on out there, wasn't there? Actually, not a hell of a lot going on out there. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Had scones and party pies at halftime. Had a nice glass of the Penfolds Red before the game.
That was what I did pick up from the little moments I've watched the fan cams. You were, what did you? Oh God!
The President's Club. The president was there. He told me about the ratification of the vice presidents this week.
Yeah,
it was great.
Before you get onto that, what did you call your? Was it trauma eating? Is that what you dubbed it?
Yeah, emotional eating.
Emotional eating. Yes, that's
I was
correct.
eating my feelings.
Yeah.
Was that a protest today by the players?
Not consciously, but subconsciously, yeah. You could see it. And you know how big I am on symbolism and body language, and how committed you are to the cause shows you how much you buy in, and you could just see it again in their eyes. You could just see it. You can just see it. When like Conte said, when you have the fire in the eyes. It was very, very bad from start to finish. And as that second quarter wore on, you just knew that they were never going to wrestle it back. And that last quarter, the nerve. The nerve. The absolute nerve. Yes, have another sip, son. Have another sip, lad.
So is that North just taking the foot off, or is that us breaking through? Like all of a sudden, direct ball movement appears.
Bit of both. Bit of both. What did you make of? You've seen the Voss spray at 3/4 time?
I haven't. I've heard about it. People have come on and mentioned it, but they said it was directed at Binzi.
It was, and then he did the whole "it's at you, it's at you, it's at you, it's at you." But to finger, like, to point out a player and absolutely nailed him at 3/4 time, when our senior players, Terry, what were they doing today? The captain. Let's start with the captain. What is going on with him?
Is he okay?
I don't know. He was diabolical today. Diabolical. No buy-in. Even when it's not going our way on the field to a point, I think what you get from him is a sense of pride that he's just going to try to will us over the line. That was gone. That wasn't even there today. That was not there. Midfield was terrible. Hewitt's got it 30 times. But again, the problem that we continue to see, when he's your offensive outlet coming out of a stoppage, he's not going to hurt you, mate. He's not going to win you games of football. And there's just not enough in that team at the moment. And again, the defenders, God bless him. Wiedering goes down, he comes back on. But the senior players, mate, just not good enough. And they're going to get another coach sacked.
So there's two things I wanted to raise. Number one, the Patrick Cripps hospital handball that nearly broke George Hewitt's ribs. Killed me. And then number two, Dione here in the chat it makes a good point. Like, we all wanted to see a bit of animated Voss, a little bit of, you know.
Yeah, and it got a response. Well, they responded to that, didn't they? They had a crack in the last quarter, but I mean, that's not the level required. Having a crack in the last quarter, really.
Yeah.
So
2 goals,
we
7
are.
in the first is where because one thing we've seen the pattern of this year is, I mean, they start pretty well, to be fair to them, for the majority of games, and you just kind of know.
So you should, but so you should.
What they do in the first from an accuracy point of view sets the game up, and I just felt that at quarter time, like, 2 goals, 7, it's going to come back and bite us.
So why does it stop? Even in the press conference, Voss is telling us what's happened. No one knows why it stops.
Hmm.
No one has a definitive answer as to why we are where we're at. Everybody's got a lot of answers, but we don't have definitive answers at the moment. And maybe new people at the club will find those definitive answers, hopefully. But it's not just going to stem from one person. What did they say? I want to get your thoughts, because I think there now needs to be philosophical change clearly at the club. It's just gone on for way too long, and there were going to be a few changes. And look, again, I don't want to roll your eyes, the board and whatnot, but there were people in there that were going to change things up, but it seemed as though it's closed. It's a closed door. But then if Voss is moved on, it paints their decision-making in a bad light, doesn't it? Because they're the ones, and not all of them who were on there were the ones who appointed him and were there at the time, but the majority are backing him in. And if he moves on, well, it shows their incompetence, does it not?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I've said this a little while ago, I've lost trust in the people at the club to make the right decisions, to put the right people in the right places.
So have I. Yeah.
To win premierships. I think the Graham Wright appointment is a good one from the standpoint of bring some football people into the top level, which I think he clearly is. He's also going to be a first-time CEO, so there's going to be shortcomings and learnings that he will no doubt have. I like succession plan. I actually think that's been really well thought out and done, to be fair. And I like the fact that a football first guy is going to be leading. But said this earlier, can't remember who was on with me just earlier. I mean, what do the decision makers have to prove that they know what it takes to take this club to a premiership, other than their skill set in whatever field that they're in? Like, how is that conducive?
Business, Terry. If you don't know the intentions of someone, to a certain point, you can look at the outcomes of their actions, right? So our actions lead to great business success and great balance sheets, right? And that is put at the forefront of what we do as a football club. And you can conflate the two to a point, but our problem clearly is football. But our focus clearly at the moment, when you go to AGMs and you talk to executive decision makers at the club and you talk to people at the club, is whatever may be happening on the field is then answered with, but we're flying on the field. We're flying off the field. Oh, off the field, everything's great. Oh, great. Is it? You sure? Money's one thing, right? Money is one thing, yeah? 26 million in the bank or whatever it is in cash flow or whatever it may be. Great. What does that mean for the soul of a football club? Looked pretty soulless out there today, didn't it?
We are financially thriving. We're spiritually bankrupt.
Well put. Brilliantly put. You can cut that up and play that back time and time again. Just quote that again, just so everyone who didn't hear it, so everyone who missed that can hear it again.
Financially thriving, spiritually bankrupt.
Beautifully put. Absolutely. Those are the best words you are going to utter tonight. And it could not ring any more true than what we saw out on the field today. I mean, look, Pommy in the comments here, no successful club looks at money because sport has been making money when you win since the 19th century. Exactly. We have our focus set on, and I know this sounds very generalized, and it can sound like it's very low level thought, but it's actually not to a point because they have their focuses placed on so many other things. Like, is football the most important thing? Yes, right. But is it as important when you compare it to others? Probably not at the moment. Probably not. Because the leaders of our football department, I speak of players, I speak of captains, I speak of coaches, and I speak of head of football, are nowhere near the level. That's captain, that's vice captains, that's head of football, that's senior coach, and that's assistant coaches. I think we'd probably be one of the only clubs that has not moved on assistants given the mediocrity we've bestowed upon the competition for the last 3 to 4 years. But you look at other successful clubs, Collingwood move around assistants even when they've been up in, and I'm wary that you don't want to compare to other clubs, but you do have to move on the fly. And the club promoted stability to a point, but stability is not going to, if we stand still at the moment and we keep things the way they are, they would just get degeneratively worse, which is what we're seeing at the moment. So we stayed stable. We all accepted it and said, okay, righto, not going to move people on. They've got enough credits in the bank. But now it's really starting to come through that we have a lot of incompetent people in a lot of places at that football club at the moment. And they're all to blame. They're all to blame. What you see out on the field is a culmination of the decisions everywhere at the club. Everywhere. I tweeted it today. Jared Waitley, mate, it was about the umpires, but sack them all. Sack them all. It's getting to a point now, and I feel so sorry because that young kid's going to be used as a meme for years to come.
Oh
right?
my goodness, it broke me seeing that little boy.
That killed me seeing that kid cry, right? But as a club, that's on you. That's on you. It is on you. It's all on you. So we know change is imminent, mate. We know that. It's going to happen. The rumours or the word is that the bloke coming in now, Graham Wright, he's an agent of change, but he is not going to be able to do it all. He's the CEO. I understand he's going to be the chief decision maker. We all get that. He's fully motivated. What he may not be as skillful at compared to maybe a Brian Cook or someone else who's a little more business-minded, he will delegate that, right? But it just seems as though we are just in this constant cycle of things change, but the more things change, they stay the same. It's you could not get a better cliched analogy of our club at the moment.
Yeah.
And to be quite frank, I don't think these players are that bad. I think our senior players really, really need a wake-up call because they're in the twilight of their career. And we need to, whether or not we trade one of them away and whatnot, maybe that's the eye-opener that a few of these older senior players need to realize, it ain't going to be around for too much longer. They're as much to blame as the coaches are. How many coaches can they get sacked, mate? Nothing ever seems to align. When we seem to have the right coach, it's we didn't recruit correctly. When we seem to have the wrong coach, we've got the right players. So everything is misaligned at the moment. You feel that with the timelines of contracts. You feel that with the timelines of people in management roles. You feel that with the timelines of Brad Lloyd's been there for ages, but he was part of this crap. Then he was part of this review. Then he was part of this new strategic plan. It's new, all align, and we all are here for the same time period, aligning towards the same goal. And we don't have that at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And it's a myriad of factors that go into what you see out on the field every week. Again, you can blow up and go ballistic, right? But it's just going to be the same thing. And to me personally, I don't see the reason in holding out on the coach for the rest of the season. It's not about Voss in or Voss out or anything like that. He's just not good enough. Simple as that. He cannot garner these players together. He cannot manage the egos in the room, and he cannot get us playing in a way consistently enough to have the majority of the squad locked in week after week after week after week. He fails to answer why the case or why these things are happening on a weekly basis. He fails to answer them every single time, whether that's in the press, whether that's by the actions that we see out on the field. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And he's not going to be the person to be able to fix it. We all know that. We all know that.
Why do you think another coach, senior coach with experience, would want to?
It might not be someone with experience. It may not be. May not be. When you see these senior players take to the field, right? And look, I suppose to a point they're going to be put up in lights, but you know they're not. They're playing for him. I don't even know what that means. Are they really locked in? Is that? But even then, like tactically, are we great? You know, even the communication. Like, is there a generational gap to a point? I don't know. Can he lower himself to their level to a certain point? Can they raise themselves to his? I don't know. I don't know, but the results speak for themselves, clearly.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about it as well. I mean, part of the reason why I'm not so, or haven't been so like Voss out, I like to know for sure that there's a better option out there. And I just don't have confidence. Well, and also I don't trust the ones that are making the appointments. So,
well, that is the problem as well. And
you know,
I know it makes me sick to continually say this, Terry, and it's going to make you sick to continually hear it. But there are people at the club and away from the club as well, whether that's board, those big people who make those decisions on a weekly basis that are just tearing this club apart because their motivation is not what our motivation is, mate. It is not what our motivation is. And whether or not it's, and I know this may sound silly to a point, when has anybody ever dropped in and said and messaged you and said, look, mate, share me a link. I'm one of you guys. Let's have a chat. Never. It's preordained. It's organized. They cannot bring themselves down to our level. And there is a divide between the two. And that we had this discussion on Monday, mate. They don't embrace us enough in those really, really tough, hard moments. They're going to feel the wrath now. But even I don't think anybody's gone as hard as it was when it happened against Essendon back in 2023. I feel there's just an acceptance of where it is between all of us at the moment. It's here we go again.
Yeah.
And that's wearing off on the whole. I don't see the wrath, mate. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. There's an acceptance that we are not going to be good for a long time.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of anger early. I mean, obviously the last few weeks, but I think for the most part, we all can clearly see we ain't good. Like, it's not what we were hoping for at the start of the year. It's not the top four. It's not get the injuries right and sack Russell and then she'll be right, mate. It's not that.
Well, see, again, last year, what did we have? We had a scapegoat.
True.
Again, it was Andrew Russell.
Russell has to go. He's the reason why.
And they look worse than they were last year, Terry.
And the year before that? So Russell's got to go. The injury-prone players have got to go. I actually agree with that. Then it was the Fisher Setterfields who got to go. This year it's going to be the department for sure. That's going to be the department.
That has not changed. That has been the. And again, it's not just going to come down to the head of football, but that has been the one constant in this. I'd say 7 to 8 years of. It's not even mediocrity, to be honest. It's worse than that. That's been the one constant in it all.
Yeah.
And the inability for us to pick a competent coach. Let's go back, and this is not revisionism, mate. It's not revisionism. I'm wary of time. I don't want to keep you too long because I know you probably want to go and have a glass of wine and go grab some dinner, right? But we all knew deep down that Voss was not the guy that we all wanted. We all knew that. Everybody knew that, right? Nobody at the Carlton Football Club, when that process was undertaken, said, I want Michael Voss. If there was someone that we would have wanted, it would have been someone who's been in the game, won a premiership recently as a coach. Away you go, right? Or it was someone completely new. And we know we had the news that the coaching committee recommended Adam Kingsley. Whether or not he could have been the man that took us to another level, we will never know. We will never. But they went down the path of the name again. And then what do we all do? Well, he signed to a 3-year contract. We can't do anything about it now. We have to back him in as a supporter base, don't we? And we've done it.
You post a photo of him with. I post a photo of him with 3 cups in his hand as a player. Drink fucking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, well, we're trying to will it into existence. You have to visualize it. You have to try to see it.
Yeah.
But do they at the club? Do they truly, really see it?
Yeah.
That's the problem at the moment. So we will make change at the end of the year. We know that. And we need to put people in places that's on the field and off the field to be a better football club on the field. It's as simple as that. It's players, it's coaches, it's head of football. It's all of it. It is all of it, mate. The whole thing, the communications, right from the very top. Board members also need to be moved on as well, because it's just getting to a point where it's just ridiculous and we need philosophical change, right? Before I let you go, the president's function, can you tell me about that, please? I want to hear about that. Because I want to see how it married up to what I saw out on the field today and the absolute dross and garbage that would have come out the mouths of these executives. Fire away.
Look, I mean, there was the notification from President spoke. I don't even know if I could make a judgment on how he spoke, but he mentioned that Townsend and Kinnersley were endorsed this week for vice presidency. He made the announcement, and I'm just not inspired personally.
No,
nothing personal against him. I'm just not inspired. I do like the way he comes across as a level-headed speaker, and I think that's important. I'm just not inspired by what I hear, and maybe I just have my priorities wrong, but I just want to be inspired by the figurehead of the club. Call me crazy. Maybe I am.
So they were. So when you say they were, what were they for vice president? These two, Townsend and Kinnersley.
They were ratified. So I guess the board voted co-vice vice presidents. Which you know what's funny, that in itself kind of says a little something too. Like, can't pick one vice president, got to pick 2.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly.
You know? So in the years that Paddy Kinnersley's been on the board, right, and she may have done great stuff off the field, I don't know, whatever. She's been part of the board that's got us $26 million in the bank, and our financial position's great, and we've got a medical imaging centre, and players are falling apart, and Harry Mackay's surgeon's taken 2 weeks off, right? How do they get into these positions where they are ratified of what we've done? Based on what? Based on what goals and objectives? It ain't football.
Well, you know, we spoke about it earlier. Townsend, at least I can look at something and say, I know what you've done for Carlton, given the way he represented some of the players in some of the big hearings that we've had. But a lot of these people are there because of their status in the world, in the wider world, in the world that they've all come from. And they've all achieved so much in the world, and, you know, they're congratulated for that. But very little says to me that they know what it takes to win a premiership at a football club and build a culture.
Well, let's, before they were actually put onto the board, they would have had to have some influence at the club to actually get themselves onto the board.
Yeah.
Right. So what have they done prior to that to actually get there? That's the question too.
Yeah. I don't know.
A lot of issues. Maybe the person they got rid of on the board last year wasn't the problem.
Maybe.
We will never know.
Paulo, that was great.
Good to chat to you, my man. What's on for your night? You're wrapping this up very shortly.
We're nowhere near finished.
I'll see you at 11.
We go until I drop.
Oh, dearie me. It's going to be a good night.
Yeah, we'll be.
Sunday tomorrow. Everyone will get a nice sleep in, and away we go. On to
Yeah.
Port Adelaide. Ken Hinkley to hand his old mate Vossi a win next week to keep him alive heading into the Collingwood game.
Go Blues, huh?
Arrivederci. Good night.
Peter. On KO at the moment, the footy panel are saying we are soft, don't play for our teammates, are not united, and that North have overtaken us. Amen. Also, Peter, after today, it's obvious Voss has to go. Thank you. Oh, really need to pee. I might just sit here and piss myself. Fuck it. I'm going to play the presser at some point. Maybe I could duck out. Just sit here in my own piss. Just vomit on myself while I'm here watching that garbage. Fuck it. Brayden.
Terry, oh my God. What? Oh. I'd like to think I'm normally someone who's a voice of reason and logic, but I was there. That was absolutely pitiful. I was sitting in the members, and I don't think I've ever seen the members so, how would I put it, lifeless, to be honest. Even for the members, that's how bad it was. To be honest, I don't like criticising Michael Voss, and I would really pound him last week because today I thought it was mainly the players, but Alistair Clarkson outcoached him 100%, I thought, especially with what he did surrounding Curnow up front, Toby Pink and Comben. Wow, that was as good as a double tag team on a player I've seen in forever in terms of how they structured that. And that really did just set them up very well out of their back half, I thought. And their transition game, well, miles ahead of where we were.
Mate, well said. The youngsters, man, that appetite that the Roos found in that second quarter was, it reminded me of us in 23 against the Suns in that same sort of fixture this time of the year. And it just, yeah, I mean, the donation that we just got earlier around, not united. I mean, that is just quite simply that's a group out there that are not together. They're not connected.
Not in any way. And I think the fact that a young North Melbourne side like that was more united than where we were, that's the really worrying thing. I don't care whether, it's how we play in some ways. I'm not even talking about tactically. It's just that mental fortitude to even play a game. It just doesn't seem to be there. That united connection between players. One player might do one thing, the other's doing the complete and utter different. There's no consistency between them.
Yeah, exactly. So what to do? What do the supporters do? We're just like,
I think, I can't believe I'm saying this because he has ultimately been such a champion, but Cripps, I think there is an injury that has been there all season, like James Sicily at Hawthorn, and they've been trying to cover it up because he just isn't moving right, in my opinion. The way I saw him today, he just didn't seem to be moving right. Likes of, Luke Davies-Uniacke, obviously he's coming into his prime. I guess he should be fitter anyway, but he really just didn't move well compared to, say, him. And, when Cripps isn't up, the rest of the midfield just goes to water, to be honest. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people who will say, Sam Walsh would have fixed everything and this, and this. I don't think he would have today because I just think Cripps is still ultimately that integral to that team that I think he needs a rest because he just does not look like his normal self at all.
Yeah.
No, but it does have to go deeper than him even, and I think we need to bring in better support for Curnow, especially without Mackay there. Mitch McGovern, he tried his hardest, and ultimately it was probably our best player today. But he needs great, and he competed really well, I thought. But still, I think you could have done with someone like even Harry Lemmy or etc. Could have got up there, helped take off some of that pressure because a lot of the time, from what I saw, even as much as it was Pink doing it on Curnow. Comben was just coming across as well, and he really stood no chance today, Curnow.
No. And then I even saw some of the leads he made. The ball's getting kicked over his head. He's just out of sync with the ball carrier. And it happened around the ground. There was a kick to Durden. The ball carrier and Durds were out of sync. Ball ends up going over. They're just a fractured, broken, soulless group at the moment.
I'm a Manchester United supporter. Right now, it looks like the exact same situation. Two financially strong, two financially massive clubs who have been around forever, have done a lot in their history, but in the last recent history have done next to nothing and seem to be filled with a bunch of, quite frankly, prima donnas, if I'm honest. And Adam Chera, I think his best football was ultimately actually in his one of his last 2 seasons at Fremantle than he's been at Carlton in some ways. I know that might seem a bit odd, but
I don't know. I actually think he's had a pretty good year this year. Like pretty solid.
I'd say for the most part this year he has, but sometimes I question, has this Carlton attitude got to him, this big-headed, I'm great and everyone, do I have to do the little things? Do I have to... Because there's no Walsh there. He should be the one who's ultimately stepping up a lot. And I don't think he did at all.
Fair.
And the likes of Sheasel, even Tom Powell, I think Tom Powell was ultimately probably North Melbourne's best player.
Yeah.
He's a guy that Chera should be beating, and he didn't.
It's a tough one, mate.
Here it is.
It's a tough one. But we'll keep going.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. The Carlton Football Club has been through many ups and downs before, and it will continue.
Thank you very much for calling in, my friend.
No problem. Have a good one, Terry.
See ya. Guys, I'm going to die if I don't pee. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to play the audio of the presser, listen to it while I run to the toilet and come back, and then we can react to it. I'm like dying here.
Disappointing was that performance today? Yeah, it was very disappointing. Started the game very well. Probably wasn't as efficient as what we needed to be. Clearly had lots of shots on goal. So felt like we set up the game okay. Probably would have liked a little bit more speed on it early. So I wasn't sure whether that was something necessarily planned or we were just defending really well that they were able to stop North. They went end-to-end a couple of times. So, but then the second quarter, the thing that's been our strength, was really taken offers, really. And even with it taken offers, we've been good enough to be able to defend the ground better than what we did. So what they kick in the second quarter, 5-6 goals. So we just couldn't turn it off for that period of time, and tried a few different things, but ultimately we almost couldn't get the ball back. They outnumbered us a lot at the next contest, and they hit the scoreboard a little easier than what we would like. So that quarter was just extremely disappointing. You finish off the game the way that we did. You can't help but think if we made that quarter a little bit different, does the game look different? But the reality is sort of we're playing the scoreboard in the end, and we had to chase too much down.
What went wrong in that second quarter? I mean, the numbers minus 13 contested ball. Is that on your leaders?
It would be something you'd have to go back and review heavily if you wanted to get an absolute accurate assessment of the individuals involved. But largely we're 8, 9 down in clearances. We're down inside 50s. That tends to happen when you're losing the territory battle. But you also like to be in a position where you can absorb for longer than what we did. But the gap between our best and worst right now is too big. And it's pointless me sitting here saying, there's patches of our game that gives a real insight into the way we want to play. But the reality is when you don't have things your way, you've still got to find ways to be able to how to generate that or shut the game down for periods of time. We've done it for small periods throughout the season, but today, North Melbourne were too good, and they were much too good around the contest for us. And across the game, I felt like for a middle two patch there, they probably bullied us. So that's something
Probably.
I'm going to have to go back and look at pretty closely.
Cameron's caught you pretty animated at three-quarter time. Was that to the whole group or just the midfield group?
I was disappointed in the whole team. That's not acceptable, the way that we played through that period of time. And I felt like there were some really fundamental things that we want to value that we didn't get right. And it just didn't sit at mids. It's, obviously the game, starts and finishes there. But it just sort of felt like we just weren't sticking to what we want to value even under pressure. And that's something we'll go look at and review really heavily.
Did it make it even more disappointing, given there was so much on the line in terms of top 8 part of things? A win would have really got you back in the mix. Did that make it even more disappointing, the performance you put up with that?
Yeah, we've been in the fight, and we sort of feel like it's been, we've sort of been fighting away and trying to find our way back into the competition, if you want to call it that. And so these moments certainly don't help.
Let's call it that.
What I will say is that that fight's on. We see out the season really strongly. We'll still take all our challenges. That won't change. But as a competitor, you can't help but you look at that game, be extremely disappointed with it, find out ways of what we need to reinforce, and then we turn up again in a very short period of time and we move forward to Port Adelaide. Because there is capacity there, but it's not there for long enough. So we'll keep reinforcing that.
Michael, from the coaching perspective, the way that the game unfolded, it felt like you went very defensive in terms of your lateral kicking. You weren't really taking the game on, and that ball speed, like we've seen over the past few weeks, particularly with the flying start that you got off to last week, that just wasn't quite there, and that therefore couldn't generate into forward entries.
Yeah, I think that's probably a little bit of the. We'll have to go into the why of that to understand it, because it's. You sort of look at the numbers at the end. They're still healthy enough to generate opportunities to get the right score, but the reality is we didn't. Just didn't feel like we put enough speed on the game when we needed to, and bit conservative in some passages of play where we could have been a bit braver. That hasn't necessarily been a trend for us this year. We've been quite brave when we've needed to. We've put great speed on when we've needed to, and for some reason, we just weren't able to play with that speed. And last quarter, throw a bit of caution in the wind and start to get the ball going a little bit better, and you can sort of see how that energises the team.
Topic did a great job on Charlie today, but then Mitch McGovern stood up and kicked 4 goals, so that was a positive spin on the performance.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of change forward of the ball, and we need to try and build out that cohesion. I in some ways I felt like the supply though wasn't great quality today, so a bit hard to measure everyone's impact forward of the ball. I just didn't feel like we necessarily set it up as well as what we could have. So I'll go back and look at that and what that needs to look like. But my initial feel was we just don't think we gave ourselves a chance.
The team took quite a few moves throughout the game from a very passionate supporter base, obviously. But are you sort of concerned that you might get a bit of a drop off in terms of support as the year goes on with this?
We're a well-supported football club. And one of the things we've built this off is to ensure our connection stays strong. And it's not time to isolate; it's time to come together. And that would be true now, and it's true in the future. And we'll continue to reinforce that. So we love coming to the ground and having the supporter base we have and the passion that our supporters have. But we share in their disappointment. So no hiding from that.
You spoke before about how you felt North Melbourne bullied you, and the gap between your best and your worst is too far. I mean, you're 4 seasons in. Do you feel like the team should be further advanced than where they are now?
I'd like us, in terms of the way that we play, to be further ahead than where we are, and the consistency of how we need to be able to play. That's what I'd like us for able to do. So it's not so much about the result of the game. It's certainly how we play and how long we play it for, and that's something that we're going to continue to reinforce.
Do you feel like the next 10 weeks of the season that you're coaching for your future?
I think it's more about staying present to where we're at. And we've got 5 days where we're turning into Port Adelaide. The competitor in me is about getting better tomorrow. And that's, we absorb, be disappointed, and then you turn into tomorrow and you look at what you need to get better at, and then you get after the next opponent. That's all you ever do as a competitor, and that's what we'll do. So we'll move on from this one pretty quickly because we have to. We have to sort of address the things that need to be able to, we need to look at, and then we've got to move forward really quickly, and that's one's into Port Adelaide. So my sight doesn't go any further than that.
Was your heart in your mouth a bit when Jacob Wiedering went off the field like that?
Yeah, it was. Because my first reaction was it was pretty significant injury. So I'm pleased that it's a rolled ankle rather than anything else. So I was going in all sorts of places. So thinking Achilles, I'm thinking knee. It wasn't good. So thankfully he got up. He was able to play out the rest of the game. Obviously we'll have to wait to see how he pulls up to see what he's like this week.
Just following on from the previous question, obviously with the new CEO coming in, does that sort of add to the, I guess, urgency, or you relish the pressure that might come with that in terms of the future?
No, I don't think. I mean, like I look at it and go, all that's ever been here with our leadership has been tremendous support. We're a really lucky football club that we've got 2 guys that are leaders of our club and been very experienced leaders of our club, and so fortunate being able to have a lot of communication with both over the last period of time, and so our alignment about what we need to be able to do. We've got work to do, and right now though, sort of what that looks like at the end of the season, I'm turning about what turns up Monday, and how do we need to be able to get after it, bridge the gap between the best and the worst, and we take on Port Adelaide. I don't need anyone else to be in any other space other than that.
And just outside of Jacob, I think Hollins and Cherry had a few little knocks. Is there anything else to report?
I think they're okay. I mean, they played out the game. I mean, we'll assess everything, of course, but early indications, I think everyone's okay. Cheers. Thank you.
There you go. That's that. Peter saw that. AJ 299. Thank you. Paolo for president. Connor. No, I've got a list of people here, mate, but I will get you on. You're going to need to wait. Aaron. Hello, mate. You're on mute, bro.
What's up, bro? How are you?
Good. How are you? First time?
Yeah. First time. Yeah. First time. Yeah. Just that sigh, really. Like, not much to say, is there? I asked my uncle after one of the losses a few weeks ago, and I just texted him, "What is it? Like, what is it anymore? Like, is it Voss, the players? Some of you mentioned the board. Like, it's just a mess at the moment. Like, I'm only 22, so I've only seen a prelim. That's all I've seen. That's all I've seen close to a granny. Close to, like, right there, touching the granny. Not even the flag. I just want to see a grand final. Yeah, it's just speechless, really. There's nothing going for us at the moment. Like, week in, week out, us fans, like, saw it at the end of the quarter, like the last few mins, like, we still got that hope, which kills us. And it's like, although some of us left, the ones that were there, we still had that hope, like, there were good signs. But, like, overall, it's just, where are we? Or, like, what are we doing anymore?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's a mess. I don't know. What do you think?
We have a Greek word. It's chalia, means like, it's just a mess. It's just fucked. And that's what it is, man.
That suits it. A bunch of malakas there too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we just haven't been able to find any momentum for the supporters to just sort of to activate the supporters, because we started the way we did in the hole that we started in. and then we played catch up. We got to 4-4, whatever it was, and then had a good win against Geelong, but still the remnants of the poor start were there, and we've been playing catch up all year. We haven't had any forward positive momentum where maybe you create a spark and your supporters flame it, and then boom, the thing lifts off. We just haven't had it yet. Like there's no Carlton roar like the fucking it hasn't like
100%. It's like funny you mentioned that. I was kind of sad, depends how you look at it. I was watching the highlights of the prelim this morning, and it's just you hear that roar. It's like that's just not there anymore, just because there's nothing to roar about. Like my mate, that shout out to Kodo, he's probably watching this, to be fair. The mate that I go with to the footy, he says the same shit. It's like, where are we? Where's that, like, everyone being one? Like, I feel like even the fans are starting to get divided, and when the fans are divided, it's just like there's almost no going back after that. It's like everyone's divided, different opinions, throwing different stuff out there, and it's like once you lose the fans, which unfortunately, like you said earlier, like with the board and all that, once there's that disconnect and the fans start losing it too, it's a long way back up. And you start from the fans, then the players, then the coaching staff, then the board is just like a slow, and it's, I don't know. I would say I don't have another rebuild in me, but I've got a lifetime ahead of me. I'm here for the big ride, so I don't know, bro.
I've seen two full iterations of this year. I've seen two full iterations. So like the Murphy Gibbs Cruiser Judd one. I've seen that one from start till finish, and then this one from start. I mean, we're closer to the end than what we are the start. That's for sure. But as in to the point where these guys are retired. So if we're going to be living through another period where Wiedering and Curnow and Mackay and Cripps and Doherty retire flagless, that's going to be all I've seen, because my memory really kicks in from 2004-ish. So
just nothing. You're in the same boat as me. You got a few years on me, and we've seen the same stuff.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing as well, because like I'm 34. Did you say you're 22?
22, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 34, and yeah, you and I are much more connected than what I am to those who are 10 years older than me, because they saw the flag, and then 10 years older than that, they've seen 2, 3, 4, and then 10 years older than that, they've seen 4, 5, 6. So it's I was hoping that there'd be 1 or 2 generations in between the flags. It looks like there's going to be. I mean, it's been 30 years. It's just, I don't know. And they do say that things can turn pretty quickly, and yeah, they can. And you can, it really can, with the right moves made. And
yeah, I mean, you sit there and hope, and I feel like that's the one thing that's keeping us connected. We all just have that hope, and we almost live for this club. And like a few of the people who have come on and said it, like, yeah, cool. Like, we're disappointed, frustrated, get it all out, and we're still going to show up every week. That's what a fan base does. It's just we're blue and blue all the way through, I guess. I mean, I'm wearing pink, kind of matching for what happened tonight, but yeah, I don't know. The club's, something needs to be done, and it's actually, unfortunately, I know there's a lot of Voss out sort of comments, and even in the past, but unfortunately today's probably the one time where I've sat down, I'm like, yeah, maybe, like, that may be an option we go down. But like you said, who? If not Voss, who? It's just, I don't know. There's so much going in my head right now that, like, I can blame this, I can blame that, I can say this, but in the end, if we're not winning, not making finals, almost what's the point? You know what I mean? It's just, oh man, yeah. I don't know. I do not know. First
Right.
fan cams, and it's a loss.
Well, it generally is how it starts for a lot of people, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I appreciate you calling in, man. That was really good to hear.
Nah, no worries, Terry. You have a good one.
You too, man. Josh. Can't hear you, but it doesn't look like you're on mute. Hang on. Nope. Nah, can't hear you. I'll get you back. Check your settings and yeah. Zach, you're on mute.
Sorry, mate. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
How are you, man? Yeah. Wow. That was pathetic. I mean, how do you feel at the moment? Because I'm feeling pretty down, like most of us, Tez. So yeah, how do you feel, man? Just taking it all in.
Yeah, taking it all in. It's been 3 hours now, so it's helped get through. That's kind of what we'll do, man. We're pretty angry, pretty disappointed. But you know, a couple of hours on the fan cams, you get it all out, spit it all out, and then you know, turn around pretty quickly to next week.
The players looked soulless. They looked weak, and they didn't look connected at all. It was pretty bad, Tez. And you know, you had players like Chera, you know, he was just getting run down, had no awareness at one point, and it's just like leaders were just down today. Cripps, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with him. He I don't know who gave away that free kick. Sherry, it was 2 goals in a row. I think it was 2 goals in 1 minute.
Oh yeah, there was the free kick after the shot on goal. That's right.
Yeah, who gave away that? Did you see?
I actually don't know, to be honest.
Because there was a fight, but I don't know what happened. Someone saying that Hewitt gave it away. Hewitt. See, leaders like him. He's one of our leaders in the midfield, isn't he? And he's usually pretty consistent this year. But when he does stupid stuff like that, you know that the player's down, and you know that it's not a good day. And at one stage, it went out to 40 points, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it was so frustrating. It was pretty bad. And I don't know, Tez, where from here? I mean, we know what we're saying, you know, Graham Wright, you know, what's he going to do? He's going to give it Brad Lloyd, give it to Voss, is he going to, you know, to get the assistant coaches, but another coach gone, another, another coach gone. That's, you know, Bolton, Teague, and now him. Like, it's just like, and then now, like the last guy said, you're starting to lose the fans, and it's just very frustrating. I mean, we beat this side by 80 points, like 9 weeks ago, and then today, what the fuck's going on? And like, oh, Tez, I don't know anymore. I don't know. They've just lost me, Tez. They've lost everyone. What's your thoughts, Tez? How do you see the rest of the year? Because I don't know, and then I'll get to my thoughts from.
I mean, at the end of the day, I can see this, I can see that. Just got to get to, you know, one foot in front of the other. That's how I see it. And I know that people don't want to hear Voss. That what Vossi said in his presser there is true.
It was weak.
Yeah, there were elements of it that you might think are weak, and maybe they are. Sure. Like when he says probably, that just kills me. Like, just say it. Yes, mate. This is what happened. But the part he said at the end around, you know, the competitor in him just puts one foot in front of the other. That is the reality. That's all you can do. And that's all how I see it. Like, it's 9 weeks. It's not really going to be a flag. It's not going to be a top team this year. It's not it. So it's just 9 weeks. And unfortunately, we have to like ride it out to the end of the year and hope that next year's a better year. Like the fact that we're talking like this in round 15, when 12 months ago we had just beaten Geelong in round 15. Oh my
and we're
God.
supposed to be a top 4 side this year.
Oh my God, we beat Geelong 12 months ago, round 15.
Jeez, what happened?
Oh.
I mean, the way I see it, Tez, is play out the rest of the season. You know, maybe give players like Ben Camporalia go. Look at the players who are going to be there for the future. Maybe get some game time into them. Like we have developed players like Cooper Lord now, Carroll. But what I see out the rest of the year, and then next year, the off season, Graham Wright comes in, he'll make the changes. But yeah, Tez, it's going to be a long rest of the season. Like Port Adelaide next week, away from home at Adelaide Oval, where how many we won 2 games? How many wins have we got there now? Three wins in their history there now. 3 or 4.
Well, we beat them there last year. We played the Eagles there this year. I think they're the only 2 games at the Adelaide Oval.
Wow. Yeah. So, yeah, Tez. Honestly, one word to sum up today was absolutely shocking. Just absolutely just putrid, Tez. And they didn't look up to it. They just I don't know. Yeah. Was it a protest, Terry? I don't know. What there was no spirit in them. There was no spirit.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Tez.
Good to see you. Thanks for calling.
We'll move on. We'll review it next week, and we'll move on to Port. Quick turnaround, and you enjoy your weekend. See you, Tez.
See you, mate.
Go Blues.
Go Blues. Zach, that man, he just fixes everything, doesn't he? Josh, I'll put the link in the chat again. Okay. Josh.
Hey, mate. How are you? I'll just
good. How are you?
Put this shit away. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm actually at the gym. Just quickly go somewhere quieter. I'll go here. Nah, sorry. How are you, mate? You got
good.
Me clear?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. How are you? What did you make of that?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm alright. Actually, no, I'm not alright. That was fucking shit. That was really bad. That was, I think everyone sort of said it. Coach, killer, whatever other way you want to describe it. I was very much stability and all that shit, but like, what's the point? What's the point? It's like Ken Hinkley right now. There's another coach coming through, Josh Carr. He's a dead man walking. Like, the writing's on the wall. Just get it done. There's no point. I don't see the point in keeping Boss. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I'm just not sure. I don't clearly see a better alternative out there right now. And I also don't know if, the only one that could be is Longmire in my view. I am not with Adam Simpson personally. Longmire purely because I know that he's taken a team, almost there. He has won a flag as well. So there is that. I just don't clearly see a definitive better alternative who you bring into the club and say, this group has to win a flag, and who can do that. Because they're going to have the same pressure as
exactly.
So it's Yeah, no, exactly.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was sort of saying it with my dad in the car, and I know we're not there yet. Voss is still the coach of the Carlton Football Club, but you look at McRae, Kingsley, and all that. McRae was an untried coach. Maybe we just got to try someone new. But that conversation will happen probably at the end of the year. It's probably inevitable, eh? Like, Patrick Cripps is to be probably playing for his 5th coach next year. 5th. That's crazy. That might be a record. Someone's got to check that. Like, if it does happen, I feel like it will. But yeah, mate, like, I know you were talking about it during the week, the Carlton law, and like, you look at videos from 2023, even 2022, and a bit of last year. This year, I have not felt that excitement going to the game. Today specifically, like, it was dead, bro. Like, the starting lineups and all that, the players, no one was. I sit in the Carlton member zone area, and it is, like, usually pretty loud. Last year it was pretty loud up until our thing, but yeah, like, it's felt pretty dead in there all year, I reckon, and I don't know, man. I'm just so disappointed. It's another year, and as fans, we can hype it up and try and bring the noise and all that, but ultimately it starts with the players, and the players aren't giving us anything to get excited about, and it's just fucking shit. Like, I really don't like going to the footy at the moment.
Yeah, fair. Well, good on you for going to the gym, getting your health as a priority.
Oh, mate, I just thought, may as well, listen to fan cams and just do something productive, unlike those boys that play for us, or fucking coaching, whatever they're doing. They're not fucking doing anything. Anyway,
What are you training?
Mate, just one of those
What are you
days. I've just been on the bike. I've just been on the bike, but I'm probably trying to do a full set of pull-ups by October. So been doing overloading the pull-ups. So we're about halfway there. So we'll get there, and we'll do a bit of arms and keep listening to everyone talk shit about our club. So yeah, I just thought I'd quickly come in and say something because, man, I'm fucking fuming. I'm so angry with them.
Yeah. Well,
anyways, mate,
get back to
I'll
work,
leave it
mate.
to it.
Thanks for calling in.
Mate, have some dinner.
Yeah, I will
You need
after
to eat.
this. Fuck, it's 8 o'clock,
Good,
man. Oh,
good, mate. Yeah, eat. Go eat, bro.
I will.
Order
I
something.
will. I
Have
will.
it while you stream. Make sure you eat. All right. See you, mate.
All right. See you, mate. Josh.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of checked out this afternoon. Just like, don't really care anymore. And that's taken me 30 years to actually say that.
Did you go?
No. I live in the Gold Coast, so I'm
Oh,
actually not
true.
seeing them all year this year. They don't even come to Queensland this year, so it's TV all year for me.
Fuck.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, one thing I really want to bring up is a couple of years ago, we were crying out for culture.
Mm.
And it kind of seems like in the last few years, with the recruiting they've forced the culture because they've brought in players that have been Carlton fans as kids. But their skill level's just nowhere near what we need them to be. And I think forcing the culture is being one of the worst things because you can't force culture. You need to breed it with what's there. Like you look at Collingwood, they haven't brought in Collingwood fans. Like they've got a couple of father sons, but you look at like the DeGoes and players like that. They're just heart and soul players, and no one fears Carlton. There's no one on that team that is a bully, is a brute. Cripps is in the contest, but no one fears him. Like he's not a scary player. He gets tackled all the time. We just don't have a feared team anymore.
Yeah. Well, we don't even have a team that's bought into who they are. I don't even know if they know what they are. I don't even know if the club truly knows what it is.
Yeah, that's
or they know what they are, and we're trying to think that we are something that we used to be and are no longer and will no longer ever be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's become a corporate canvas.
Yeah.
Corporate and a social canvas for talking about good and saying good. And I mean, the platform, this is the other thing that's interesting. I mean, we talk about the soul of the place not being there and being spiritually bankrupt. Like you got all these great things, facilities at the club. We've spoken about this for the last few weeks. The facility, world class, the recovery center, the ice baths, the saunas, got the imaging center now, state of the art facility there. Part of the reason why Carlton grew to be the great thing that it was because it grew in a time where we didn't have all these shiny things, and it was the hard work and the grit and the determination of the workers on the inside to work to earn the right to have the shiny things that we have now. And so
I think that's what I mean by them recruiting players to force the culture, where you just can't force it.
Yeah.
You cannot force culture. It's there or it's not. And yeah, the last few years it's getting worse. It's on the decline.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Carlton at their worst 10 years ago when we were getting the number 1 draft picks. I enjoyed watching them much more than I enjoy watching them win today because the game plan is just not enjoyable to watch.
Mm.
It was more enjoyable to watch back then when we had 2 wins on the board.
Yeah.
That's where my 2025 is with them anyway.
I just don't know how to keep serving.
Well, as I said, the membership that you have provides much more value than the membership I get through the club. So I'll stick with you more than I will Carlton at this stage.
That's sad, man. That's sad. I mean, I appreciate that, but like that is sad to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I am the competitor after all.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the competition here.
Oh, we love what you do, so thanks very
Nah,
much for that.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. All right, Connor, it's time. How are you?
Hey, Terry, how are you?
Good, mate. What did you think of today?
First quarter was terrible.
It was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like we had, like I tell you, two points.
Yep.
Two behind. And then
2
we
goals,
had
7, Connor. Can you believe that?
2 goals and 7.
Mate,
That
19 points scored in the first half. Can you believe it?
It's ridiculous.
It's fucking ridiculous, Connor.
And then we just had a terrible second quarter. And then we came back at the last quarter.
Did you believe it, though? Did you believe they were going to win when they were coming back?
For the world, for quiet round. At the start, I thought because we got it fresh, they kicked like 8 goals in the last quarter. It just was like more than that.
Yeah.
If it did, it didn't happen.
Yep.
That's just shit.
Yeah, I know, mate. Can we beat Port Adelaide on Thursday?
I'm hoping we do because if we don't, we're not only up the top 8.
Yeah. Well, Connor, maybe we'll see you Thursday night. It'll be a late one.
Oh, yeah, go back.
Good on you. Thanks for calling in, mate.
All right, I'll talk to you next week.
See you, mate. Kel.
Oh, g'day, Tez. How you doing?
Mate, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in that piss poor effort again, but hey, what can we do?
I don't know what we can do. I don't know.
Other than keep supporting and barracking, I don't know either.
Yep. It's a bit confusing at the moment. It's been confusing for a while, and we just got bullied by North Melbourne.
Yeah. Well, I felt it coming after, our last effort with them, and then their improvement, and now either staying where we are or going backwards. So I was expecting us to lose, but yeah, we did.
Yeah. Where did you watch the game from?
I watched it from on television in Hobart. So so it was like I felt that no one's mentioned this other than you, the kid crying. Well, I felt his pain. Oh my gosh,
broke my heart.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I thought, oh God, I feel the same way, little man.
Yeah. At the same time, it's more of at least he'll be prepared for the reality of the world. It's tough out here, mate. Life's not easy, you know?
Yeah, look, I grew up, I was born in 81, so the first 2 years of my life we won, and then 87 to 95, I remember the 87 to 95. So, so I sort of grew up with it being great, and now we're, like, since about 2002, we've been absolutely shit, sacking all the coaches, all of that, and I think, oh gosh, where are we going to? Because I don't think we've got anywhere in like 20 plus years.
Ain't that the truth, mate?
Yep.
Well, you have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
No worries. Thank you, and go the Blues.
Go the Blues. Peter, play the kids for the rest of the year. Yeah. One more. We've got Danny, and then that'll be us, I reckon. Wow, 3.5 hours. Fucking hell.
Terry,
Hey,
you really tried, mate. You really tried to G us up before the game.
I tried, man. I tried so hard.
You tried,
I even
man.
said in my preview, they better fucking fire up after this little spiel. I tried, man. What am I meant to do? What am I meant to fucking do here?
Mate, what else are you gonna do when you're barracking for a team and you have to make content on it every day? What else are you gonna do but hope? Like seriously, what else are you gonna do? But it's not on you, Terry. On the TV, it's very funny because I think Chera kicked the ball in our forward 50, and it just went on the bounce, just before on the bounce and out of bounds, and then the commentator, I think it was Jared, it was Healy, I think he was like, "Oh, well, that's not insufficient intent; that's insufficient skill," and, and that kind of just caps it off, man. The thing is that you can probably just Rossi yelling at Benz, you can pin it down on that, like Hewitt is standing right next to him, so is Cripper. Such an easy target, an 8-gamer. But at the same time, Terry, I know the system, and from day one, everyone's saying Ross out now, and I said that at round 3 when we lost the doggies, that he's not the answer, and we can probably still salvage our season, which probably wouldn't have been salvaged, but the process of learning under a new coach would have been a bit quicker. But if you look at how we play, Terry, like what's our one word? Like clearances, right?
Yeah.
And we had 56 forward entries and we have 10 goals. That's 17% success rate of conversion of us going inside 50, and we just don't have that player that connects it. Like Cottrell was that, and obviously I think Elijah was that as well, but that hasn't happened since they have not been playing for us for however long. Our problems, like literally, you can play any of your reviews, Terry, and you can probably just literally change the heading or change the title, and it'll literally be the same conversations that we've been having since the start of the season. It's just the same story. Like, but at the same time, Terry, missed kicks, handballing under pressure, two pressure while they hit people. Like I think Cripps did that to Hewitt, and he had 3 people on him, man.
That play is just stuck in my mind from today. Cripps just like the hospital handball to Hewitt. Hewitt gets cracked in the ribs, and it's like, mate, like what can we hope for? Like the kids to not do that handball when Cripps is doing it, And he's a warrior, and he's all of this, and he's all of that, but like your youth will follow what they see from the leaders at the end of the day. And it's like, mate, come on.
Exactly. And I was just same thing, man. And one thing that pisses me off, and probably like I can get mad at that. At this point, I'm just disappointed, Terry. I'm not even mad. I'm not even we've known this. I think you've known this as well, but we just kind of obviously hope for the best, that it's going to turn this season. But truth be told, I don't want to say it, but the writing is on the wall. But Akers just fucking kills me, bro. I fucking would punch his fucking face. I fucking hate him, man.
No, don't say that. That's not nice.
But Terry, tell me this, right? He's clear. First he takes the mark and he misses the kick and it gets touched. Right? And then Tom DeConning is in the goal square. All he has to do is literally fucking kick it in the air, and he kicks it half-assed, gets touched, and it's behind. How many times do we see Akers do that, bro? It's unbelievable, bro. He's not even fucking yell at fucking Akers, man. Don't yell at Benz, Rossi.
You know what got me today? I had a little moment. Where are we? Around 15. It was. So I guess it was in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Akers takes the mark top of the square and goes back to kick the goal. And I had a moment where I was like, wow, like just reflecting like, oh, wow, like, 2 years ago takes that mark at that same spot. And we're in the, we're in the semi-final. And you just sort of see like, wow, look how much of a fall off from that night. Like, the best nights of our lives for a lot of us. You're just left scratching your head. And I think part of this year for me, I've kept the hope because I remember 2023 completely losing it, and like I was blindsided by the turnaround. So it's like, okay, well, don't give up. Like, make sure you get all the information of a year before you draw a conclusion. And yeah, it's almost like they're just pushing you to draw the conclusion before they did. It's just psychotic behavior, to be quite honest.
Nah, mate, it's just one of those things that we've known for so long, and you see our list. I don't think is an issue. I agree with Chad as well. What he's saying, our list is not an issue. These are AFL players that will play for any other team as well. It's not that if you put them in any other list, they won't be as good. I think Mutlow is serviceable as well. I don't think if he plays in Geelong, they play him. The coach is stubborn enough to play him in the fucking midfield all the time. And when you see that his best craft is that he's a small forward and needs to be forward of the ball and not playing there. And Charlie, his leading patterns, what was the difference, Terry? Like Mitch McGovern has played forward in his Adelaide days, and yet he leads to the ball and gets 4 goals and gets himself firing. Why can't Charlie do that? Is Pink that good a defender?
Yeah, they defended Charlie pretty well. I mean, yeah, Charlie's connection to the ball carrier was just not there today. He made leads, the ball went over his head, or he didn't make a lead and the ball was sort of put on his head. It's that link between ball carrier and ball receiver just not there.
Yeah. Terry, I don't think I would say anything or add anything which other people haven't already. I'll just say, bro, let's just keep our sanity. Let's just go
man.
1 week at a time, and we already know what's happened to the season. Let's just bite our bullet and see what happens. Graham Wright comes in, makes the changes. I hope he makes those changes. And it's gonna happen anyway. It's just a matter of time, mate. And I think Wossi has lost the place for what it's worth. I think it was evident today, even with Jack Silvani playing the way he was playing. Such a fucking hard game to play, whatever the system that he's trying to coach them. It's just, Terry, it's just whatever, bro.
Yeah. Well, when it gets to Jack Silvani, you know something's fucked.
Exactly.
And it got to him today. I can't explain it. He was just affected by something. So,
Terry, we move on to Port Adelaide, bro. But you know what? I'm just taking one game at a time and trying to enjoy footy. But when I watch this team and Akers does what he does, fucking boils my blood, man.
oh man, you look after yourself, yeah?
You too, bro. Take care. Have a good night.
See ya. Wow. So bad. They're just so bad. So bad, man. They're fucking so bad. And then they bring it to 11 points just to suck you in. It's like they just give you just enough, and then you get in and then they let you down and then they give you a breadcrumb. Yeah. Hey, AJ, thank you. Yeah, if you guys would like to support the channel, I mean, honestly, watching is supporting, but if you would like to further support, you can become a Blue Abroad member. The link is in the live chat. That's the monthly. $10 a month. You get therapy included now. I should have put that on the list of things that you get. Would love to have as many members as possible. Webby, yeah, you can come on, mate. Yeah, of course you can. If anybody else wants to come on, you can as well. Toxic relationship. It is a toxic relationship. Please get myself onto this board. Well, what will that do? What will that do? Captain Bobblehead.
Another brilliant game.
Lifeless, mate. Lifeless and soulless.
Do you sit with the members, Tez?
Today I was at the President's Club function, so I was sitting in the Olympic stand with the suits.
Yeah. It's better move somewhere we can hear. Yeah, it's a hard watch. It's you sort of love to know what they make of what the players make of it, because they just look like that they just weren't interested today.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was a weird game to be at. Just no excitement. And then when there was like a little glimpse of maybe a fight back, there was the turnover from Chera, which led to maybe the McKercher goal, and you're just like, okay, yeah.
I feel like you're starting, like even at the start of the season, you're starting to sort of see it wear thin on the senior playing group. And I know everyone's like, where's our leaders? They need to stand up. But like in the last month and a half, like the look on Wiedering's face when he plays, the look on Cripps' face, they look like they're just bereft of any confidence or energy. And it's like, this is when it starts to look bad for the coach, because that's when, you know, the hype will come on. Oh, you've lost your players. And it just looks like the senior players are like, they're like, nah, whatever we're doing is not working. Change it, because we don't want to do what you're saying to do. And we assume this, but that's just what it looks like. It's what it looks like from watching the game. Like today, Cripps is like playing forward, and then he's like, nah, I'm not going to play like last week. I'm going to get myself in the contest. And he goes in the middle, and he just, how many tickets does this guy have? He's sold all these tickets.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's always next year. You there? Hello? We've lost you. Webby.
Hello, friend. How are you? Get the book out.
Where do we start, Cherry?
What are we doing? No. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know, Webby, mate, but we're not winning a premiership. That's what we're definitely not doing.
We're not winning the premiership. How start playing football in the last quarter? Oh my god! Oh my god!
Isn't that a kick in the guts? Wasn't that a kick in the guts, that fourth quarter?
That actually, I saw Franco was on here earlier, and he mentioned about Binns getting a bake at 3/4 time. Seriously? An 8-gamer? Copping a bake?
Yeah.
Where's Cripps in the second quarter? Touched it 4 times, mate. The game's super. Don't laugh. It's not funny,
Sorry.
mate.
It's not funny. You're right.
It's not funny. Where's your leaders? How many times can we talk about the same stuff?
Well, apparently you're not allowed to bake the Carlton click, mate. When you reach a certain status, you're untouchable, because heaven forbid you rock some personalities in there.
Yeah, our leaders are terrible, mate. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The game's slipping. Like they're taking control in the second quarter. They're getting it to the outside. Where are we? Where are your Cripps? And I don't want to have a go at Hewitt and stuff.
Why not? All of them, mate. They've all got to take the responsibility, and there was a real opportunity to level the level the ledger, get to 7-7. Like, it wasn't pretty the last few weeks. We all knew that. But I mean, the reality going in was 6-7. And I think the reality was it was always going to be a tough game. But ultimately, you've got to be beating North Melbourne. Yeah, all right. You don't belt them because you're just not that team. But fuck. Like, and then you know what else I've thought of that I haven't mentioned yet? Like, all right, you know what? First half of the year, it was shit. But like, and we clearly didn't improve from the year before. Okay, but are we not going to improve from the start of the year now to the second? Like, are we not going to show improvement in this second half of the year now from the first half? Like, is it just going to constantly go down all year without like any form of spike, like at all?
What are you wanting to see now until the rest of the season? Are you
Fight.
just
You got to
to
fight it
kill
out. No, you got to. So yes, play some kids, but not more than 3 or 4 in a given week. Personally, I want to see them fight it out when it's not going their way. I don't want to see this lack of spirit and whatever this is. Like, you have to fight it out. We're in deep water. You gotta. This is where the growing happens, when you're just about ready to give up in life. Like, this is where it happens, the magic.
I don't think
So-
they care enough. Personally, I don't think they care enough. It doesn't
I don't
mean
know.
enough to them.
Yeah.
We are an organisation. We are not a football club.
Yeah.
We see that at quarter time and 3/4 time. What's this karaoke stuff? Come on, man. Come on, Terry. What are we? Come on. Are we a football club or? I know it's entertainment. It's entertainment. I get it.
That's not a
But we're
problem.
winning games of football. Come on,
No.
man.
You know what? If we were winning, we would be singing, Webby.
No, yeah. We're not winning though, are we? So
No, we're not.
we're just shitty at every part of the football club at the moment.
Yep. It's a
We
stain.
need to be better. We just need to be better.
Yeah. So maybe we should expect to lose and then get surprised when we win.
Do you go into games expecting to win like I do, or
Today I did. Yeah, today I did. For sure, I expected to win today. I didn't expect to win by a lot, but I expected to win today. I'm also understanding of the fact that we've got 3 games in 11 days in this little block here. So, like, I get it, and that's going to be challenging. And, you know, I can understand the nuance of that. So it's not going to be pretty. But yeah.
I was actually at a pub today and I watched the Port Sydney game, and Port were garbage. You can guarantee on Thursday night they'll be absolute superstars, Terry. You can guarantee it. That's how it goes, mate. That's how it goes, my friend.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Just not good enough for a
Yeah.
team. For a team who was looking at finishing top 4 and winning premierships to be 10th,
Yeah.
2 games outside the 8, it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
No, I know. What's your plans for the rest of the night, mate?
Probably go home and cry, because that's what this club does to me. It does. It also does it to you as well. Like, we all care, Terry. We all
Of course,
care.
mate. That's why we're here. There's 600 of us here. Nearly 4 hours in.
I know. 3 hours and 48 minutes. I can see it on my screen. Yeah.
Yeah. I should probably get off. This is not healthy.
Can't ever warn Terry.
I will.
Yeah. All right.
Lads, you have a good night. Be safe. Speak to you soon.
Me too.
See ya. Peter, we really do butcher the ball. Yep. Can we clean up the club from now? Sure. Oh, just like that. There's one more. Big Papa Bob.
How are we, mate?
We are fried and cooked. Yep. We're burnt.
It's a good one, eh?
It was, yeah, that was some sort of set. That was what a day. What a day. Sweet fuck all happened out there on the field.
Mate, at this point, like, you're looking at next year already, aren't you?
Just about.
Like, you just are. Like, what do you see? What do you see? Like, I know we talk about, like, the leaders, they're not stepping up, they're not leading, but some of these players that maybe we thought were, they weren't stars, but they were capable role players are just not. Like, Fogarty on a good week, like, yeah, he looks like he could be that guy, but he probably needs another, like, 2 to 3 stars around him to be that every week. Like, I think when any kind of a little bit of responsibility gets heaped on some of these guys, like, it's a bridge too far because they're just not that.
Yeah.
Not that good. Like, they're okay. Oh,
You there?
yeah, I'm still here. I might have lost the old cam.
I might give him a few minutes. He might come back. Really just trying to get this to 4 hours, aren't we? I said I'd never do it again, but I don't feel so bad this time. Anyway. I don't know if he'll be back. Before I go, I just saw 3 of you signed up for memberships. Peter, Marta, 4 of you, Aaron and Erin. Thank you very much for signing up. So the monthly link is top of the live chat. The annual link is there. Yeah, let me put the monthly in again. And monthly. For those of you who are interested, I think Bob's gone, so I think we'll call it there. There's nothing else to say. We've exhausted it. Guys, I'll see you in the morning for the review. I'm looking forward to a sleep and a deep think during the review. Yeah. We'll just keep going. That's all we can do. Have a good one. Thanks to everyone that tuned in. Thanks to everyone who called in. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to everyone who became a member. Thanks to everybody who subscribed and hit the like button. So that was round 15. The Blues, 10 goals, 13, 73. Lose to North Melbourne, 13 goals, 6, 84. Have a good one. Go Blues.